Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the European ESL Mortal Kombat X Pro League presented by Xbox. I am Mustard.
I'm Ketchup.
And we're going to find out today who will be your top placers who'll get that one step closer to that cut of the $1,000 prize pool and that step closer to the top 16 finals in Burbank, California in July.
That's right, going into week 3 here, the ESL European Mortal Kombat X Pro League. It's a string of weekly online tournaments. They are free to enter, where every single week we'll play out to see who really is going to be the best of the week. We play through on Sunday, through to top 16, and then resume it on Wednesday. And they are, as I mentioned, they are free to enter, where you'll earn a cash prize every week of $1,000. And you're playing through for those all-important placement points to get into the Burbank finals at the end of the season. For those more information at home, for those at home that would like to try out this, you can go to esl.gg/MKX Pro League for all the information that you need. If you think that the players are the only ones that will be walking away with some stuff tonight, you can actually use the prediction system in Twitch chat. This is done by doing !predict, followed by the points you'd like to spend, followed by the player you think will win each set. You start off with 10 points, so spend them wisely, and the more successful that you are throughout the night, the higher chance you have of winning some Mortal Kombat X t-shirts.
So looking back on what we saw last week, we had Foxy Grandpa managed to take his second successive week of the online tournament. He did come up against Mitsuones, who was a very powerful Inferno Scorpion player. He had to fight Nivek, who was his grand finalist in week 1. During that tournament, we saw Mr. Aquari with some really cool play. First time we've seen him this way. We saw Shuffles versus Fassel in the good set. I mean, what were some of your highlights from last week?
I feel like it was quite a dominant week for Foxy. I mean, this guy's been on a tear anyway. He's done really well in the UK Mortal Kombat Cups. He's doing extremely well here in the ESL Online League, including the pre-season stuff as well that happened beforehand. I mean, this guy, he's done really well for himself. I mean, people are, bit by bit, they're bringing it to him, but it was quite a dominant week last week. But we did see some good sets. We've seen people like Mr. Aquari, he's always been about during these top 16s, but I think last week the guy really made a name for himself.
He really brought his A game last week.
And you can see a lot of players here returning. You have players like Pulsar returning a lot, Mitsuones, and I'm Still the Daddy. These players have been quite consistent throughout each week.
Well, some of these players we're seeing again today. I mean, moving on to sort of the placement points that we're kind of at in the league so far, we can see that Foxy Grandpa is number 1 right now with 200 points for his 2 victories, which puts him a whole 100 ahead of Nivek and Fassol, who are 2 other high places we've seen so far, and that leaves with Mitsuones and Mr. Aquari in your 4 and 5 spots.
But I mean, by no means is this the deciding factor right now. I mean, this is week 3. We have a few more weeks to go for this, so it's not too late for anyone to take part here. But people like Mr. Aquari, who has not actually placed top 16 this week, and there was only a 5-point difference between himself and Canepa, so
exactly,
it's still all to play for. And obviously a bunch of players here that are really, some new blood this week, some returning players who no doubt are really looking to try and sort of do a better job this week and really become one of those top 5 places. Because as I mentioned earlier, the top 5 European players throughout this league in terms of placement points will be sent to the Burbank finals for the top 16 around the world.
There's going to be a minimum cash prize of $50,000 to play for. So it's all to play for in these leagues. It is still early days, but for those of you at home that missed any of last week's action, or for any of those that may just want to see some of the best moments again, we've put together another top 5 plays from North America and Europe from last week. So let's check it out.
Enjoy the show.
Peggy 18.
Here are the top 5 plays of Week 2 of the ESL MKX Pro League.
All right. I mean, Rio has him in the corner here. Oh.
He's got to grab her with a lift or a forward 4 in order to get that.
Yeah. So that's twice now where Brett hasn't punished it. So hopefully he learns quickly. Rio, putting out a little combo video in the corner. Good break there by Brett.
Oh, nice air to air and
wins it again.
completely shutting Brett down in the corner. Wow.
One of the easier characters in the game to keep out of, to keep away. He has, no teleport. He's quite mobile, but he's quite big. He's quite easy to keep from far away. Buzzsaw Kung Lao could probably zone him with that hat.
Well, we see a comeback
really
from Shuffles
right
here.
Here comes a full combo. Meepunch spin, lovely prediction.
Wow.
A backdash to make it whip.
Be closey.
And again, a neutral jump punch of his own.
That caught him at the very end of that hurt box.
Oh my goodness.
This is a dominant and finishes with an X-ray.
Wow, Brett. I'm so glad.
Here we go, hard knockdown into Kung Lao corner pressure. Oh, the down 1 making the jump in whiff. We don't see that very often. That's to be a full corner combo. Again, the same combo now, slightly less damage. Oh, does intercept with the spin. Wonderful use from Foxy. Will he use the... Not quite the conversion. Oh, here we go. What was that?
Absolutely.
And again, a nice start from... Oh my goodness.
The reads. And then back in the blender.
I am rarely lost for words when I do this, but that was ridiculous.
You are rarely lost for words, sir.
Again, got him in the corner. More setups. Shujinki Jing is running a clinic in the corner right now. There's nothing that Perfect Legend can do. And he's not going to break. Smart stuff.
Bro, really smart stuff by Ding.
Tune in to the ESL Mortal Kombat X Pro League, presented by Xbox.
So that was the highlights of week 2. I mean, it's always a pleasure watching Shujinki X Quan Chi in action. I mean, that guy's been doing really well, and as far as I'm aware, he is here again week 3 for North America. You know, he's sort of forefronting this character right now.
Well, it's not a fair fight. As soon as the bat comes out, it's 2 versus 1. I'm sure that's against the rules somewhere.
This game's got plenty of 2 versus 1s. You've got Ferritor, you've got all kinds of other characters.
That's true.
You've got the minion. It's not a fair game because there are loads of characters. Anyway, going into week 3, we have a really good bracket this week. We have a bunch of returning faces. We have a Foxy Grandpa. We have people like Canepa making his return. Faso, Mitsuones, players like Sumerian who we've seen in the top 16 before, and they're here again this week. Worth pointing out, Nivek is actually not present in this top 16.
For a first time we're seeing in the Europe thing, he is not present. And why is that? Because Omega K eliminated him earlier on in the tournament.
Omega K, undeniably one of the best players in the UK right now. He's had a really dominant Kung Jin. I imagine he's going to be using Kung Jin again today, even though the character has been downgraded in a recent patch.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we are playing on the recent patched version of the game on Xbox One, so there will be a few changes here and there. But we will explain as they go on. If we do, if we see any that we need to point out, we will make sure that those at home are aware.
But going into the first game, though, we have Euphemism versus Mitsuones. These guys have already played in the past. They've played before. They actually played last week, and Mitsuones did take that. I think at the time, Euphemism was actually playing Jackie Briggs. As far as I'm aware,
he plays a bunch of characters at this point. I know
he's quite a fan of keep away characters. As far as I'm aware, he plays like Cybernetic Kano.
Cybernetic Kano. I know he plays Shinnok, and now Shinnok's incredibly buffed in this variation. Shinnok's a very powerful character, so maybe we'll see him bring some of Shinnok out for.
I bet you're happy about that, Shinnok player.
Yeah, a bit, just a bit.
All right, cool. But going into the prediction point system, you now have 3 minutes starting from now to make those predictions. And as I said, the more successful you are throughout the night, the higher chance you have of winning some cool stuff at the end of the night.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's a question of like, how do you predict, obviously? If it's a player you've not seen before, do you stick with your guns? Because obviously Mitsuones managed to take second last week. Like, this guy is no slouch.
You go for that 50-50, man. You go for that 50-50.
He plays a very powerful character. He plays him well, and he managed to take second. But he's up against Euphemism, who's a player that he beat last week, and we haven't seen play yet, broadcast to you guys. I mean, we've seen him play because he's been around for a while. But, in terms of the ESL stuff, we've not seen him play. But his characters have been improved in today's version of the game. So that might help him out.
But we also know that, the reality is, at this level of play, if you lose to a player and you know that you're coming up against them next time,
you'll do your homework.
You will do your homework. I mean, why would you not? You watch the match, you watch what happened, and you watch their tendencies, and you watch matches of them. Mitsuones had a lot of representation last week, being in so many matches because he got grand finals. As a competitive player, if you know you're up against that guy, you're going to do your homework and you're going to study out.
Well, we saw Fasol do that last week. I mean,
of course.
Fasol being a player. Is he in this week?
He wasn't in the bracket, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
He wasn't in the bracket.
Well, we saw him in week 1. It was his first top 16 showing, where he had some good sets. He's playing a really powerful Buzzsaw Kung Lao. He also plays a bit of Katana, who again is another character we've seen get improved in this balance patch. She's now got access to a really strong low attack.
The pretty kick's made its return.
The pretty kick. We'll see you again. See you again from MK9. But no, Fasol managed to. He was eliminated quite early in the top 16 in week 1, but he came back in week 2, got further, and saw him do a lot more. And that was just 2 weeks. No, that was 1 week. That was just 1 week of play. We saw him just, tenfold increase his play.
I think it's quite useful when you have other people in the bracket playing the same character as you as well. I mean, when you're in situations when you play a character, but then someone who's doing consistently well in the league also plays the same character as you, it's quite, not only can you kind of refine the way that you play yourself, but if you watch what other people are doing with the character, then there's always the chance that they're going to do stuff that you don't do. I mean, I myself as a Quan Chi player, there's plenty of Quan Chi players out there right now. Although I use Sorcerer, which is a variation that not many people use, there are people out there that use the same character, and they will simply use stuff that you may not have thought up or would have taken you longer to. So when you kind of have all these people that play the same character, it's much easier to kind of just come up with tech collaboratively, I guess.
But that's when it's good when the characters have their own individual communities, when they're willing to collaborate together and work together to really sort of refine characters.
Hey, the Quan Chi community is awesome. I love those guys.
Well, I mean, it's basically Quan Chi. Quan Chi, it's Shujinki Dink, Wonder Chef. In Super Bowl, of course. Can't forget in Super Bowl.
Lord forbid if I forget in Super Bowl. Mayo. You know, there's all kinds of players out there, but it's like that for every character. You know, there's all kinds of places you can go to level up. And you know, these online leagues are good for that.
Well, in terms of characters we'll see today, I mean, early on, like I said before, we've got Euphemism versus Mitsubones. I would expect Mitsubones to be playing Scorpion again. That is a character that he's had a very strong showing with up until this point. But Euphemism, I have no idea. I know he was really happy to see Shinnok get buffed, and I know he plays a lot of Shinnok, so I hope we'll see him play some Shinnok today. I mean, I think that's a good matchup for Shinnok because if he plays Imposter, Imposter's whole deal is you steal a move from the opponent, and you steal the spear, which gives you some crazy opportunities. You can hit confirm everything into that spear, but because of his new buff,
Post-patch Shinnok.
Post-patch
with
Shinnok.
the stun. I was about to say.
Post-patch Shinnok with the Scorpion Spear has a true vortex against Scorpion, which is what Scorpion will do to him. So it'll be a much sort of fair game on an even playing field, but Shinnok can do more with his blocking.
Plus you've got the tricky portal too.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not going to be a matter of Scorpion's not going to be the only character that can be kept down in that situation, because with Shinnok Imposter having the air tricky portal, not saying that that's the one Euphemism plays, we don't even know if Euphemism uses Imposter. You know, the buffs that Shinnok has received has actually helped him across all variations. It's not just Imposter that gives him.
They were universal upgrades. They were universal changes. So like his overhead, he now gets in all variations.
And launches.
Yeah, no, the overhead launcher he has in all variations. He's now got his meter burn, health sparks. You know, the 3 fireballs. He can now meter burn those on block. They're changes that he can do in every variation. And Necromancer got a buff as well. Like this character is improved. I really hope he plays Shinnok. I want you guys to see what this character is capable of now. Because he's fantastic.
But the thing is, though, the one thing about it is that so far, if anything has been apparent, it's that character loyalty has surpassed counterpicking right now. You know, because of the variation system in Mortal Kombat X, the fact that you can choose 3 different variations of a character, if you're playing strictly one character and then you're trying to master all 3 variations, you know, just because one variation has a hard time in a tournament or against a specific character doesn't necessarily mean that you now have to change character. You can simply change variation. I mean, in all of these tournaments, we've seen people stick with one character, and the most successful players so far have been those that have stuck with one character and gone all the way. And if it's just not working out, then they simply change variation to just get a new set of tools with the original character they're already familiar with, rather than changing to an entirely new character, which can cause you problems this early in the game.
Well, the sort of the glaring example that comes to my mind is look back at the Fatal 8. We saw MIT versus Perfect Legend. MIT started with, I believe, was it Hellfire?
Ninjutsu.
No, it was Ninjutsu he started with.
Meter Burn Spin was punishing the Ninjutsu
exactly.
buttons.
So we saw him start with Ninjutsu in that set against Perfect Legend, where you know, it was quite a landslide of a match first for Perfect Legend. He managed to take it quite quickly. So MIT went back to the character select screen, picked Inferno, and then did everything he was doing in the match before, only he was doing like double the damage. Like, the tools were there, all he had to do was swap variation to get them, and he ended up just, you know, winning that set very convincingly.
We've seen it in all these tournaments, though. I mean, you know, even players like Foxy that have stuck with nothing but 100% Kung Lao. Foxy's won, you know, it's either 5 or 6 tournaments now since the game's launch, and the game's not very old.
He's making quite a lot of money.
He's making
right
that
now.
MK dollar, but he's been 100% playing Kung Lao this whole time. You know, we have players like Sonic Fox. You know, Sonic Fox being so ridiculously successful right now, and he's got 100% air on black. So it's kind of like, you know,
I see him returning this week in top 16.
I do. I mean, you know, Sonic Fox didn't make top 16 last week. You can tell he was disappointed with it. You know, this guy is amazingly talented, especially for a 17-year-old. I mean, this guy is no joke.
But
and here he is in week 3, which is awesome.
Like, as everyone expected, he went, you know, I say he went home. He's playing from home. He stayed at home. He went into practice mode.
He changed to a different room, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Think about it.
Yeah, he may have relocated. Maybe it was the maybe his connection wasn't as good in his bedroom. He went to the kitchen or something. The bathroom. Don't know. That wireless.
I don't know about that. But we're going to be setting up this next game right now. I think both players are in here, but they're going to be doing a quick sort of trial here to make sure everything's all good to go. But I mean, so far, I'd be very surprised if Mitsubones doesn't go with Scorpion. I would be very surprised.
I've seen him play quite a bit at this point, because he live streams as well. He tends to stream quite often, and then every time I've ever tuned in, he's always playing Inferno Scorpion. So I don't see why he'd change, especially at this point when there's money on the line, there's league points on the line. I mean, you know, in terms of how that's sort of, you know, placed, first place takes home $500, second place gets $300, and third and fourth take home $100 of that. Like, there's a big difference between making third and fourth and then winning, because that's like $400, $200 if you're first and second. Like, it's a lot of money to mess around with.
Well, the reality is that the pressure really never ends. I mean, both players are going to be ready to go. I think they actually are both good to go. He has indeed gone with Shinnok as well, and hopefully he can demonstrate some of these buffs. He's gone with Imposter too.
Wonderful. I really, really like this choice of character. Decides to break early. Always a good idea, because against any character with a Vortex, a break will save you between a lot more damage than you may initially think you're going to take.
Oh, I love the shoulder going over the overhead. He hops in the air. That will be a full convert. Now, the question is, what kind of mix-up is Mitsubones going to go for? He will use the Inferno minion to just get more damage, and he goes for a grab. A very popular option that Scorpion players like to go
Especially Mitsu Owens, like, we see him get that a lot, and like, the grab is quite a good idea. I mean, I think
the air, son.
we need to see Euphemism start blocking those. I mean, I understand, you know, it's an overhead or a low from full screen, but you can react to it, but we need to see that option shut down, or Mitsu Owens will just abuse that until the game is over.
Well, that's very unsafe. The Hellsparks, although can be meter burn on block now, with no meter to spend, I mean, the Hellsparks are just as unsafe as they've always been, and that will be, again, him going in.
Good
Going
block.
for the low. Good block on the low, but gets tagged by the uppercut.
The meter burn spear is obviously safe, but Mitsu Owens challenges a punish with an uppercut, doesn't quite get it, but he does manage to convert this into a combo. No doubt this will go into 50-50 as well. Will he be able to guess the follow-up?
Next setup's going to take this. The grab won't quite do the damage, but the full screen zoning is all he really needs at this point. Unfortunately, not really punishing it heavily enough. And Mitsu Owens really isn't in much risk at this point in time. With Punish it, that's going to be a full combo.
He needs to start turning these into the Mimics. He needs to start turning them into the Mimics, get the restand, and get that mix-up.
See, normally, Shinnok, he can use his Mimic attack in Imposter to really get a lot of damage there. So basically, like, the situation you want is that you leave the opponent standing, you steal their attack, which gives you more damage the next time you touch them, and with post-patch Shinnok, where he gets the low and the overhead, it's a true vortex. They have to guess high or low.
But you can hit confirm into that from any standing string, for the most part, especially with Imposter like that. That's like Imposter's main deal, is getting that Mimic whenever you can. Get that damage out, get his move, because as soon as you've got Scorpion Spear, you're converting anything into quite substantial damage, especially, like I said, when you can get the restand and you can go into what he now has as a vortex.
Well, you're looking at least 30% each touch without bar, you know, with post-patch Shinnok.
It's nothing to laugh about.
With Scorpion as well, I mean, any character that has some kind of stun that you can take, I mean, that gives you meterless damage that leads into itself. You can combo into the stun you've just stolen when your next mix-up is successful, and then go straight into the next combo, which in this situation, because of post-patch Shinnok having those 50-50 mix-ups, you can literally just keep them in the whole game, similar to exactly how Scorpion can put you in that situation. Now Imposter Shinnok has the exact same thing, but the question is Euphemism going to actually stick with Shinnok, or is he going to change character?
I mean, I guess we'll see. He was hitting a lot of standing strings. Like he was getting the touches.
He's thinking about it.
He was getting the touches. He just wasn't really ending it in the correct move. That's what it boiled down to. Like, he knows he can get the hits. He can get the hits, which means you can get the damage if you can convert. So, you know, he got the hits in, which is like, yes, it was quite a quick match. But that's Scorpion. Like, Scorpion is going to do that to you a lot of the time.
Especially if it's mix-up into mix-up too. But let's see, he has gone in for Shinnok again, and we're going to go straight into the next match. Imposter Shinnok once again. Hopefully he can make the adjustment.
He just needs to get the aggression. I mean, obviously, it's hard to pin down Scorpion. He's very mobile, especially with his EX teleport. But once you block it, that damage is out there, you know?
It's punishable on block. I mean, the reality is Scorpion is very unsafe when you block. If he commits to the bigger damage setups, it's a lot of damage he's going to take if you guess right. But here comes the next game. Is Euphemism going to make the necessary adjustment?
I start with the down 4 to just get that advantage.
Good punish. Has to be a full combo punish.
Oh, goes into the soul. The Amulet Strike. Not quite the right attack. Does get the restand, but...
Oh, the low minion on block. That really is the Mitsu Owens special. I mean, the low minion grab is so unsafe. And in hindsight, there's really no reason to be blocking high in that situation, but unfortunately we'll get tagged by the minion. And it's one of those things where Mitsu Owens is just so confident in his mix-ups all the time. He will dedicate, and a lot of the time he'll be successful. Oh, not a full combo punish.
Down 4. I mean, as soon as you don't punish a Scorpion player, he's just going to do this. You are going to get teleports, low minions, overhead minions, spears. If you're not punishing them, they will not go away as an option. Mitsu Owens, like, he's playing this well. He can see he's not being punished, so he's just doing what he wants. Oh, give me a burn, but no conversion.
Oh, doesn't quite get the conversion. The thing is, Euphemism is getting a lot of hits here that would lead into big damage. He's just not capitalizing, and the big deal is that he's not really punishing very well.
But on the other hand, Mitsu Owens is. He's converting damage. He's getting it there. I mean, it doesn't look like Mitsu Owens is punishing special moves, so I don't think Mitsu Owens is too familiar with the Shinnok match. Like, that is fully punishable by Scorpion, but we're not seeing it. But at least when Mitsu Owens is getting the touches, he's converting it into damage, and that's what we need to see Euphemism start.
Oh, tagged by that jump kick teleport. Here comes the mix-up. The dangerous thing here is that Mitsu Owens has so much meter, and Euphemism has none of it, and that's going to be a good overhead into Spear. He can afford to be risky now and just save it. He has a breaker if he gets it wrong.
Oh, does drop, but he uses his 1 bar to... Oh, yeah, good block on that X-ray.
Mitsu Owens,
that really wasn't going to hit.
You can tell that Mitsu Owens is confident about it. I mean, he's just going nuts here. He's very confident about this round, doing so many takedowns too. And that's probably going to be some kind of slide. He tried to slide again, I think. And the question here really is... Oh, unfortunately, he tries to get the teleport there. Doesn't quite get the punish on that.
I mean, we're seeing Euphemism do a lot of down 4s into themselves. I mean, the reason you see players throw out those crouching pokes, those crouching normals, is to get the advantage on hit. And what that means is, for example, I mean, Shinnok specifically, every time you land a down 4 and you see that your crouching down 4 has hit the opponent, you have enough frame advantage to sprint up into your opponent's face and hit buttons before they can physically move. They can't jump, they can't backdash, they can't armor. You have a lot of time to then run into your opponent's face and get that mix-up. So if you hit that down 4, and you follow up with another down 4, you're not only are you not making the most of your frame advantage, you're potentially getting rid of it, because if they get hit by that, they might then be starting to block, knowing you're going to come in for the follow-up. I think really, so then you're getting a block down 4, and you're putting them in the situation you literally just had yourself.
I think the main issue there really was the fact that it's like game 1 where the punishes weren't really there, unfortunately. I mean, like as we mentioned, like with someone like Mitsuones who dedicates to so many mix-ups, I mean, his reads are always really strong on those mix-ups. But when you block that mix-up, that's when you need to really set home that he's not going to be able to do it for free. I mean, the reality is, if you play a character, and most characters in the game can always get decent damage on a touch, no matter how big the combo is. Every character is looking at least 30% damage. If you block 3 unsafe moves, he's taken 90% damage, and if he breaks, he's lost the bar too. So against someone like Mitsuones who's playing this aggressively and committing to this unsafe stuff, because he's confident, when you actually get the block on that mix-up, you really need to make it count, and unfortunately, Euphemism just isn't punishing.
Well, Shinnok, for those of you at home that don't know, Shinnok, when he uses his Mimic attack, where he steals the opponent's move, he gets a damage buff for 10 seconds. What that means is, for 10 seconds, he's going to do increased damage, and if he takes Scorpion Spear, that's a lot of potential he's got to get meterless damage as well when he's got Scorpion's move stock. So he's going to do it. It's not really going to cost him anything, and he is forced to guess. So you have to get that opportunity whenever you can. We're seeing him go for it, but he's seeing it blocked, and we're still seeing the Mimic come out, which means that you have to sort of hit confirm that sort of thing. If you see it block, that's when Shinnok can now do for his meter burn Hell Sparks to get the plus frames to go in for another mix-up. Like, we're not seeing the buffs that Shinnok got utilized right now, but to be fair, the patch came out today. So I doubt that Euphemism has had a massive amount of time with this version of Shinnok. But it's the muscle memory you need to get to quick. But he has gone with Bujitsu Kung Jin in a very surprise pick. I didn't even know he picked this character.
I've never actually seen him play this character before, but this should be a full convert. In the patch, Kung Jin has had an adjustment. The big deal is that he doesn't do as much damage anymore. And a lot of his damage, I mean, he can still get good damage and good corner carry. And as you can see there, the mix-ups are still apparent. It's just that he doesn't do as much damage with each touch.
It looks like he knows this character, though. I mean, sort of a surprise pick, but it could work out for him. I mean, he is winning round 1 right now. We're seeing him. He's got a lot of those low starters. We'll see if Mitsuones starts blocking those, and then obviously he can open up for his overhead.
That's going to be a full combo punish on that teleport. And the question is, he's going to opt to save his meter, I think. Doesn't quite get the convert. That could be quite huge if he gets tagged by something now. Oh, the low minion unblock. As I mentioned before, like, I really don't feel like there's a reason to be blocking high in a string like that, because he can't really go overhead or low from a string after that situation. So you may as well just block low, and if the minion comes, then punish.
But it looks like the swap has been quite beneficial for Euphemism, that he has taken round 1, but unfortunately whiffs the dive kick. Not too much of a full punish from Scorpion. Looks like Mitsuones wasn't quite expecting that. Oh, he does get by the follow-up and the drop from Euphemism.
Oh, he can capitalize on that down 1. Doesn't quite get a full combo because he's far away, but... Ah! Nice situation there with the minion. That's one of the restand situations that really gives him the power of that mix-up that Inferno gets. That's full combo. That's unsafe on block, unfortunately,
but no real punish. I mean, 6% is not going to stop someone from doing an option. He gets the overhead option this time. Catches Mitsuones blocking low, thinking he's going to go for the low. That's when you go for the overhead. That is what you do with this sort of mix-up.
Oh, wake up takedown. Mitsuones isn't afraid. He tries to convert, but doesn't quite get it. Cancels those teleports. That's one of the things Mitsuones does really well. And the neutral will just simply teleport and cancel it. Doesn't quite get a capitalization there. That should be a full combo if he doesn't drop this. And unfortunately, doesn't quite get what he wants. Jump kick teleport. This may take the round. This next mix-up will take it.
This convert might be all Mitsuones needs right here. See if he can... I mean, I assume he's going to go for the throw again. Will he go for the restand? No,
he goes for the combo. I think he's more confident in that situation there. Use the bar and then zone from far away. There's a good call on Mitsuones. Don't even dedicate to a mix-up. Just send him full screen, then zone him from full screen.
I mean, he saw that. I mean, Euphemism had 1 bar. And at that health, he couldn't afford to trade with the way in, but a full punish from the teleport, that's what you want to see. Does use a break, but now we have a Scorpion with no meter, which is significantly more unsafe.
The question is, this neutral ground, really nice down 2, just to challenge that jump. And he's going to tag him with the down 2. Unfortunately, both players here. Very neutral game right now, very neutral situation.
Oh, does whiffs
the low.
Oh, but catches a dive kick.
He knows that he's going to go in and he presses a button. He knows he's going to go in.
It's an option you have to respect with Kung Jin. I mean, as I said before, this version of him, he has been sort of toned down somewhat, but he is still a very powerful character, and his tools are there. Doesn't quite scout that teleport, but he's forced to break. He does manage to save himself from the mix-up.
Doesn't have the sprint, but this should be all he needs. Drops another combo, unfortunately. So many costly combo drops, but that is going to be good and go 2-1. This character swap has been very good for him. But the main thing is, I mean, granted, I know Kung Jin, his combos are slightly easier to execute.
Especially in comparison to Shinnok.
In comparison to Shinnok, his combos are easier to execute, but the bigger thing here
Was the damage.
was the damage and the fact that every single blocked mix-up was a punish. I mean, Kung Jin is a very, he's a very fundamentally sound character. He ticks all the boxes. If you're playing against a character like Scorpion and you're not really trusting your own combo timing, you're not trusting your own execution, Kung Jin's a good character to pick for those situations.
If what you want is, if you need armor, you need mix-ups, and you need damage, Kung Jin is a safe pick because he has that in droves. Especially, I mean, even after his sort of adjustment, all they really did to him was, I mean, not to undermine it, because I know he did, receive some substantial nerfs, but his damage was downgraded, which was very necessary for what he could put out,
especially
most
meterless.
situations.
Especially
yes,
meterless.
exactly. And he's had a few other sort of minor adjustments, which, but he has a plenty amount of other tools on the table. He still has his 50-50, still has his armor interruptions,
Still has the range on his buttons.
still has his whiff punish potential. He's still got a lot to go with.
He's still got that bloody neutral jump, which
Yeah,
everyone
exactly.
loves.
So
Here we go,
Mitsuones
tags
sticking
him
with
with the low.
Scorpion.
Unfortunately, another costly drop. I mean, Euphemism not really capitalizing on as many as combos as he should really, but lovely sweep there. Another low. Mitsuones just not watching his feet.
The euphemism is he's twigging on them, like Mitsuones is just not blocking low, and that's giving him so much of this damage on the table.
Oh, that low minion on block, so unsafe.
Again,
but
there is-
giving him so much mileage.
There is nothing Scorpion can do on block off that 2-1 string that ends in an overhead. There is no reason to be stand blocking after blocking that string.
And this next mix-up will be quite costly. Gets tagged by the grab. It's not really as bad as any other damage that he would have taken from that mix-up. Oh, wake-up swing. Breaks the final hit.
Forces
just to
him to
save
break.
himself from damage. Oh, he tries to get him with the... Not a full punish, so he lives to fight another day. This throw still won't do it, but the zoning might do.
It looks like Mitsuones, oh, this might cost him the round.
That should be a full combo. Is that going to take it? That's going to take the round! That clutch, the one time he needed to land that combo, and he does get it.
I would like
That
to
is
bet.
huge.
I would like to bet that Mitsuones has never quite regretted throwing a spear as he did right there.
I mean, it's risky stuff. He's always going to cancel those teleports. That's the thing. He's always going to... That was a very risky uppercut there.
I mean, an unsafe special into uppercut on whiff, like that seems quite desperate to me. That seems like you're not confident in the matchup. You're just trying to go with whatever will work.
Is he going to low minion? Is he going to low minion?
He can't take these all day. He has to get in, and that's what he does. Mitsuones forced to break, straight back into this sort of full screen mix-up game, but oh, doesn't block low again. Mitsuones is just getting blown up by these lows right now. Like he's really, I understand it's a 50-50, but if you're continuously getting hit by one, you have to try the other one eventually.
Oh, he dedicates into
again.
low minion. I mean, there really is no reason Euphemism should be getting hit by those low minions. I mean, they are so unsafe, but this will actually take it, chip damage alone. This is match point for Mitsuones.
We saw this situation in, like, literally in the last game just now, but Euphemism did manage to pull it back. Will he be able to do the same thing here?
Low minion, it's very unsafe, but full screen, not necessarily. Not against a lot of characters. Oh, tagged by the overhead because he knows he's blocking low. Seems to have lost some picture right now. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, but we are back. Here we go, that's going to be, he's going to get the convert. Now he's going to block it. Is that going to be a full combo punish? Is it only gets a forward two? I mean, that could be much more substantial.
He's not really taking a lot of damage away in this matchup. I mean, this
lovely dive kick.
Like, Kung Jin is a character you will play in this game. Like, at this point, you kind of hope that the punish damage is going to be there, especially when you're playing a character like Inferno Scorpion. But he has managed to get this mix-up.
That was a really nice cancel on the teleport, actually, to get the grounded punish rather than just teleport by itself. I like that. Oh, he tags him. He's going to break Inferno Scorpion because he builds so much meter through the zoning, and that's actually going to take the entire set, unfortunately. Euphemism is going to be going home, and as always, Mitsuones will be moving forward. Good stuff from Mitsuones.
Well played by Euphemism, though. Like, I really like the character change. It worked out for him very well. I mean, they were two close games with his Kung Jin, so if he decided to make that change earlier on, or if he went with Kung Jin right from the start, we may have seen a different result. But, you know, again, like you said before, character loyalty is prevailing over counterpicking right now, and in sets like that is where we see it. So, you know, proof is in the pudding, I suppose.
I agree. I mean, Mitsuones, he plays very unsafe. But
I think
works.
Rago is the definition.
The pure
the British definition.
The embodiment of Rago, I think, is how Mitsuones would play. But it's working out for him. It really is working out for him. He's doing well. He is doing incredibly well. I mean, in those situations, I mean, it's a shame because sometimes you just want to coach a player and go, stop getting hit by that, block that, because, you know, but at the same time, you know, it's, I'm sure he'll go away from that set and realize, hang on, why was I getting hit by those low minions? You know, he hasn't got an overhead in the middle of the string, so I may as well just block low during a string. And then hopefully, you know, hopefully he can bring it next week, but, you know, as always, Mitsuones will be moving forward to fight Shuffles, who is another good returning player. Shuffles has been doing really well for himself.
So as you can see, Foxy Grandpa and Canepa will be the next game we'll be playing right now. While we wait for Sumerian and Mega K to finish their set, we'll be moving into a Foxy Grandpa versus Canepa. We've seen both of these players play in the ESL leagues right now. I mean, the first time we saw Canepa was on week 1, where he had a Kenshi. He played both Possessed and Balanced, I believe, where he had to come up against Nivek from Greece. And that was a set that did go to Nivek, but it's been 2 weeks since then. That's all the time you'd need to really sort of bring your A game, and you're going to need it against a player like Foxy.
Well, you know, two weeks isn't a long time, but it's enough time to really level up a character.
It is for a fighting game player.
If you're sticking with a character and you realise what happened last time, and you're here again in the top 16 for week 3, you know, it doesn't take long for you to really click what areas you need to improve on. If you're playing as Kenshi, I mean, you know, Kenshi is a character that he's not easy to play.
You have to really work for your win with Kenshi.
I mean, he can win. Kenshi can win. He does the same job he did in Mortal Kombat 9 in the sense of, you know, he does zone. He is a really strong keep-away character. And he always has been, and he is in Mortal Kombat X. The only difference is that he is harder to play now, arguably. So the reality is, there are areas of improvement everyone needs to, you know, take as a player. And with Kenshi, I think it's, you know, the important thing is just putting up that brick wall. You know, but the second someone gets within jump distance, that's when you throw out the meter burn, rising karma to get the 30% anti-air, which is armored as well, which is almost guaranteed against most characters.
Well, he's a defensive character in a game with a run button.
Yeah, that's the issue.
That by itself is what's going to cause problems for you. But at the same time, Kenshi has a lot of armor. He can interrupt, like he can counter poke very well with the armor. And if he does it from max range, I don't want to say he's safe, because he's not always completely safe. But if he's got bar, you know, he could always do it again. Like, there's always that thought in your head, is he going to armor again?
That's the threat
even
of
though
armor.
I've just blocked it. Yeah.
The threat of armor, when you have a character with good armored moves, it's the fact of the matter is, it's never really your turn to press a button against a character with armor. You know, whether it be against Kung Lao, whether it be against Kenshi, whether it be against, you know, Total Khan, these characters that will bait you into pressing a button after doing something on block.
Because it's something they need to do. They need to enforce that into the opponent, which is why you see it so often. And Kenshi's a character that can do that from substantially longer range. And he gets a lot of damage for his armor as well. Like his EX Rising Karma opens up for at least like the high 30%, if I recall correctly.
Well, the meter burn Rising Karma lands around 29 to 30% damage. I mean,
that's alright.
It's good damage for an armored launcher. And the important thing is that if you do armored the Rising Karma, the combo that you do to get the damage ends in the Teleflurry, which sends the opponent full screen. But the match is going to be starting now, very soon. So as of now, you have 3 minutes to make your predictions. Bet on the player you think is going to win in the Twitch chat. Twitch bot in chat should be giving you guys some help anyway. But it's ! Predict, followed by the points you'd like to wager, followed by the players that you think will win the set. As we mentioned earlier, the more successful you are tonight, the higher chance you have of walking away with some really cool MKX merch by the end of the night.
And today you have a standard chance to win a Mortal Kombat X t-shirt, I believe, for first and second. So try and win those prediction points. Try and be accurate if you can. I mean, like I said before, we've got Foxy Grandpa coming up against Canepa in just a few moments, so we'll see how this goes. Kung Lao versus Kenshi, I assume, I mean, obviously, like Canepa's had plenty of time to play another character, and I don't think we're going to see Foxy ever play someone that isn't Kung Lao, but it's going to be a question of, if Kung Lao can't get in, he can't win. But if he does, Kenshi's going to have a hard time getting him out.
But in Buzzsaw, it's not that tricky for...
Because of low hat.
Because of low hat, that's
Because of low hat.
Because of the low hat, it's truly not... Kung Lao is harder to keep full screen than a lot of characters. He's not as easy to zone as other people. I mean, the teleport is an issue. As always, with teleport characters against zoners. But more importantly, in Buzzsaw, the low hat is a bit of a problem. Especially if you are really trying to spend the entire game keeping someone away. You know, the teleport is the least of your worries when there's a low hat which recharges very quickly and is always on your way. I mean, Kenshi has got a reflect, so we may have to see the reflect doing really well. But the thing is, the second Kung Lao throws the low hats to get you to throw a reflect in, that's when he's just going to run in with the low hat. And if you try and reflect it, then you get hit by whatever else he's going to be trying to do. So
unless he walks into the low hat. I mean, it's a lot of theory fighting in this sort of moment, because like when you're trying to analyze what's going to happen, you have to sort of think in your head, what are we likely to see? But at the end of the day, like there's two actual players at the end of these characters, so they could do the complete opposite to what we assume. But that's where the matchups come from.
It's preparation, and it is the all-important matchup knowledge. I mean, at first, Kenshi Kung Lao could seem incredibly difficult because Kung Lao is very aggressive. You know, he's in the air a lot. The range and it's jumping normal. I mean, granted, Kung Lao's jumping 2, I believe, where he takes the hat off. I think it's his jumping 2, where he takes the hat and it gets incredible range. That's really hard to anti-air as most people. But if you're playing as Kenshi, you've got meter burn Rising Karma, which will anti-air Kung Lao regardless of what he does. So
if it trades, worst case scenario, you take a bit of damage of the jump in, but he still eats the full follow-up, you know? He still has to deal with that.
Exactly. I mean, if you're not Kung Lao full screen, you can get away with some of your zoning. I mean, we're just talking about now as if Canepa's going to play Kenshi. I mean, we don't truly know if he's going to use Kenshi. He might be playing a different character. As we said, it was 2 weeks ago since we last saw Canepa play. So who knows?
Well, this is week 3 in the first league of the ESL Mortal Kombat X Pro League presented by Xbox. So for more information on how you can stay up to date with the progress of the league, things that are coming up, following the brackets live as we go through the qualifying rounds on Sunday, please do follow ESL Mortal Kombat on Twitter and Facebook, as well as NetherRealm at NetherRealm Studios on Twitter and Facebook as well, for just a lot of information on leagues like this, because especially if you're taking part, you need to be up to date on what's going on. You need to know how the other player's doing, what are the regulations and the rules, like what are the times I need to be there, what time do I check in. Like, you need to be checking out those websites if you're taking part. Well, it's very important.
There's still plenty of time to play. I mean, you know, we are week 3, and there's plenty more weeks to go. And as we mentioned, they're free to enter tournaments. So if you guys see this, if you're seeing the play right now and you think, I could do better than that, I think I'll do all right.
Enter and show us, man. That's what we want to see.
Please feel free to enter the leagues. You know, everyone is more than welcome. I mean, like I said, free to enter tournaments. They play through on Sunday to top 16, and then top 16 is resumed on Wednesday, where we play out for the dollar and the placement points.
And obviously these leagues are in North America, CIS, Russia and Europe. So we cover a large amount of the world, and that's where we're going to see this top 16 final take place in Burbank. That will be the top 16 globally. There will be your representatives from North America, from Europe.
It's going to be
from
good.
CIS.
Like, it's going to
be 16 of the very best that we've seen online, that we've seen in this league. And we're seeing a lot of competitive players entering. You know, Rio, Sonic Fox, Foxy Grandpa, Nivek. A lot of names we're repeating quite often, but these are players that play offline frequently, regularly, and have done so for many, many years.
I mean, speaking of Kenshi, we get people like Pig of the Hut. You know, Pig of the Hut, a consistent placer in North America, who was unarguably the best Kenshi player in Mortal Kombat 9. In America, and here he is now
trying to do the same thing again.
Trying to do the same thing with Kenshi, and he's doing well for himself, you know. And it's these online tournaments that really give, you know, not only seasoned offline players the chance to shine to the world, but also the chance for online players that normally would be unable to enter tournaments. You can now enter this online league and really show what you've got without having to leave your home to do it or spend any money, which is always a plus.
Well, Pick of the Hut, to get to top 16 this week, he had to eliminate Forever King, who's a player that recently beat him in grand finals of a tournament in their local area, where, you know, it was Kenshi versus Kung Jin, and he lost that set. And then he plays him online, and then he manages to take it. So like, we've seen the adaptation, and Forever King is a player that we saw in the Fatal 8.
Forever King is no joke. I mean, that guy is insanely strong.
We've seen him for a number of
9,
years.
Injustice, and X.
We've seen him for a number of years, especially like since 2011 MK9. This guy has been really running a tear competitively, be it at the Evos. Like he's placed top 8 for Evo like years running. But going back into the Europe, we have got to see Foxy Grandpa versus Kenshi in Possessed Kenshi, just like we saw last time.
Now the reality is Canepa going to be able to just keep this relentless pressure off? He tries to anti-air spin, doesn't quite get the angle right, but he does get the anti-air, which is presumably what he wanted. Oh, the really risky teleport right there. And is a meat burn spin going to come? That is the question. When you fight Buzz or Kung Lao, it's
he's
always
just getting away from the corner. Canepa wants no business dealing with that corner pressure.
But now he's getting pushed into the other side, and here comes the low hat stuff. Oh, attacked the low hat. That's a good teleport.
I think that's a trade that's bad for Kung Lao. I mean, obviously, like, he wants you to block when he chucks that low hat, but kicking him and sending him full screen, at the very least, you're just trading damage. That's not bad, because it costs him a bar meter to do that, but we do see round 1 go to Foxy. I think it was just Canepa trying to just get the distance, and Foxy just not letting him get it at all. But that's the way this matchup is going to go. Oh, no convert on the jumping punch. That could have been big damage.
Oh, lovely bait there. A lovely bait with the armor. As we mentioned, guys, as we mentioned just a minute ago, when you're fighting someone with armor, you always have to question whether it's your own turn to press a button. Both characters can do this. So, as we saw there, now here comes the crazy good zoning from Canepa. Interesting teleport to really put himself in harm's way, potentially, but it's working out for him so far. Meter burn, low hat is actually plus on block. Canepa tried to press a button and got punished for it. Doesn't quite get the hard knockdown that Foxy was after, and he's going to put in the corner himself. That's now 2 jump-ins. I'd like to see Canepa converting a bit more in these jump-ins. Perhaps he just assumed it wasn't going to hit. But he's doing well for himself. This round is good for him right now. He is on the ground, but he has got a bar which he decides to use, and he lands on the hat. How unfortunate. That is quite bad. I mean, Foxy couldn't capitalize because he was in the middle of his attack animation. But here comes Canepa in the corner with no bar. This is quite a bad situation for him. And that would just be a grab. Of course, it's Foxy, so of course he tries to end the game in a grab. Why wouldn't he?
Well, he gets the brutality, which we've seen him do. I have lost count of the amount of times. I'm quite bored of that. If I was in this King of the Hill, I would give him no respect points.
He doesn't even get a strong 2.
No strong 2s to be had.
He'd get a 0. I mean, the thing is, I'm fairly certain Foxy goes for that brutality just so he can tell his opponent to learn from this every time he wins. That guy's a jerk.
Smart Alec.
He always has been. But anyway, that was a very strong game 1. A very strong game 1. And it was quite, I mean, Possessed Kenshi has the keep away and he has armor, but
it's just a question of when he hasn't got bar. It looks very difficult to get Kung Lao off you once he starts if you haven't got meter to armor away. That's what you need to do.
I quite like balanced in this matchup. I mean, the reality is, Canepa's trying to zone in this variation. which is what you want to do as
Buzzsaw
Kenshi.
Lao is hard to zone.
It's hard to
That's
zone
the problem.
Buzzsaw Lao, but the issue is, if you're playing something like Balanced maybe, then when he jumps in and tries to get that pressure, as long as you've got 1 bar of meter, you can anti-air him consistently for 30% damage, and then harass him from full screen as long as you can before he gets in. Because I honestly feel like Kung Lao is a character that will get in. Is he going to go for Possessed again? He has gone Possessed once again. Really nice upwards there, just to catch the jump. And what's going to be coming next? Canepa has got 2 bars of meter, which is very crucial for him trying to defend himself.
He is forced to break, but he is still mid-screen. Ooh, Foxy manages to crouch under the teleport. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but it has worked out for him, as he has already got Canepa in the corner. And Canepa, as before, no meter, has just sort of
Buzzsaw in the corner is not fun. He has no bar for the low hat stuff, but he's going to catch him again. Hit confirmed the double overhead into the spin once again into a... unfortunately drops the combo, but doesn't really seem to be that much of an issue right now. And he's going to throw him back into the corner.
That's what you mean, like, jumping out of the corner against a Kung Lao neutral, it is only going to work if you just assume that Kung Lao is going to press a really slow button in that way, or if he's going to throw a low hat. Because if he's waiting for it and he's got bar, that EX spin will come. But Canepa manages to fight his way out of the corner, trying to get this pressure on, doesn't quite confirm, but gets the armored
lovely
counter poke.
counter poke. Once again, Foxy, it's not your turn to press a button. And here comes the full screen zoning. He's going to try and keep him away as much as possible.
Wonderful kick.
Lovely
Canepa.
jump back kick.
You can tell this guy's played a lot of Kenshi. Like, he knows this is where Kenshi wants to be. Like, we see a lot of players, their characters have the strength, they don't play to them. This is what we see. We see players, they know their characters are defensive, they know they don't want to get near their opponent, but at the other side, you know, you've got a Kung Lao, he is aggressive, he needs to get in your face.
Oh, it doesn't quite have the hat, so he was actually unable to meet a burn anti at that. He pretty much has to break in that situation. Both players on a bar of meter. Oh, catches at the teleport with a really nice jump back kick. Good blocks from Foxy, knowing the mix-up. I think that's the thing. A character like Kenshi, one of the reasons you won't go in is because he doesn't really have an overhead option. He has no way to really open you up. There's no reason to not crouch. Here we go. 2 hats.
Wonderful time teleport from Canepa to just dodge over that hat, but Foxy knows.
Oh, lovely armor. Canepa just keeping it composed. This guy is here to play. That was a really nice zoning. One more hit will take this. Oh, fantastic. Really good stuff from Canepa.
That was just solid play. That is what you need to see. Like, he knew what his character could do. He played defensive. He was using his bar perfectly. I mean, he is sitting with no meter right now, but he uses these safe specials to really challenge. I mean, I don't know if that's 100% safe, especially against Kung Lao.
Oh, lovely jump back kick just to catch that jump. He's going to try and zone him the whole game.
We're seeing it work. That's the important thing. We're seeing it work right now.
Here comes the hard knockdown. I think as long as he has bar, he's very dangerous. But the issue in these situations now where Canepa has no meter to work with, it's going to be very hard for him to fight out of this situation. Oh, here comes the low, just to relaunch it into that combo. These low hat stuff that Foxy's just been really trying to develop all the time. Overhead low, tries to grab. Actually, would have been quite successful, but does it too early, I think. Interesting teleport, almost corners himself, but the lands in front of him regardless.
Oh, manages to jump himself into the corner. That was not the place he wanted to be, Canepa. Unfortunately, that one moment has cost him game 2. And another head.
It was much better. It was much better game though. I mean, Canepa,
that was powerful. That was a good game though.
He kept it composed. The issue we have there, I think, is that without meter it was difficult. I mean, he knew how to play without meter. Canepa knows how to play without meter. You know, I assume as a Kenshi player, that's something that you really need to learn. Is, you know, just as much as if you're going to play Quan Chi, it's important to learn how to play without wake up. With Kenshi, you need to learn how to play without armor, so that, you know, you're not always going to have that option. And he did keep it together. I mean, that round 2 was incredibly solid, but unfortunately, just when Foxy got in round 3, and there was no meter for the armor, to counter poke, to try and bait him into pressing a button, it was hard for him to fight him off.
Well, what we see and what sort of goes through the players' heads when you've got that sort of option available. Because if you see an opponent that has armor, like Kenshi, that's going to use it, he's going to make the most of it. If you see him with the bar, you know it's an option you have to respect. If you see a Kenshi without bar, you know his defensive options are limited, his wake-up is limited. So you are going to go in way harder than you normally would because you see he hasn't got the bar. But going to game 3, I assume he's stuck with Possessed again. Yep, Canepa really is looking to stick with this. He's really be able to get this game.
I think Canepa, he's doing the smart thing, which is just adjusting. He's going, instead of changing character or variation, stick with what I know and adapt to the matchup like that. Unfortunately, I feel like as long as Kung Lao's got bar, he's not really going to get away with any more of those teleports. It looks fairly easy to meet a burn spin on reaction to. To get to the air thing there, I'm not sure if that was an execution error, but a really nice push out there from Canepa. He doesn't really want to get pushed back into the corner, but unfortunately, he may spend the whole game here if he can't fight out.
Well, you're saying that literally practically 0 bar versus a full X-ray that Foxy has stopped, which is 3 meter burn spins, a breaker. Like, this is, the odds are against Canepa right now.
Match point Foxy, 3 bars to 1. I mean, when you're in the corner against Buzzsaw Lao, it's scary. The threat of the meter burn spin is always there, but now the meter burn low hat for the plus frames, or the meter burn low hat by itself after a knockdown, like we're no doubt going to see here. Oh, lovely wake up, but even when Kung Lao takes damage, the low hat does not actually disappear.
Come on, Canepa, get out of the corner. This is where you need to get. Just use the opportunity, use the knockdown.
Here comes the poking game, tagged by the low hat once again. Is another low hat going to come?
Oh,
he's getting hit by the low hat so many times. Meteor burn spin. He tried to meteor burn spin, I think. Canepa got away with that one. He's out the corner. That's where he wants to be.
All right, Canepa, this is his chance to win this set back. And if he gets back in,
he jumped in. He's going to X-ray. Oh, he jumped in.
I think that'll be it. I think that's going to be enough to
That will take it. That will take the game. I mean, it's tempting. In that situation, it's so tempting to go, he's just going to come in. What if I jump over him when he presses a string and just X-rayed? Unfortunate. Good stuff, though, from Canepa. It was a really strong Kenshi showing, but as I mentioned before the set began, Kung Lao's very hard to keep out. I mean, I particularly don't think that matchup is very fun to play. I mean, he's just so mobile all the time. But unfortunately, you know, Foxy will be moving forward, as always. Canepa going home, but with a strong showing. I mean, I really hope he can bring it next week, because that's a really good Kenji, really good stuff.
A very interesting match coming up. Looks like we'll be seeing Shuffles versus Mitsuones. Shuffles, another player from the UK that we've seen numerous times in this ESL Top 16. He is a Kotal Khan specialist. He is a big fan of this character. He's really tried out. I mean, as we saw earlier on, he was posting on Test some tech he's found with the,
really good stuff with the damage totem. Really
with the Blood God variation of Kotal Khan, which doesn't really have any mix-ups. It has no armor at all, but it does
so much damage.
But a lot of damage. Like we're talking 70 to 90% sort of touch of death sort of setups. But you know, it shows.
Cyrax.
But who played Cyrax?
No one.
Of course.
But anyway, Shuffles, though, as a player, he's been really sticking at it. He's been sticking with this character.
He's been exploring Kotal Khan quite a lot.
Mainly War God, but he's been trying out other variations. I mean, we were playing him yesterday, he was using a lot of Sun God. But War God seems to currently just be where it's at.
When it comes to crunch time, War God is what we see him pick. And it's for the armored interruptions, it's for the mix-ups, it's for the range. And it just looks like his very most versatile variation.
You get mix-ups. I mean, even if it's not full combo mix-ups, you get mix-ups. You get really strong launching armor, which, as you just saw then, where you can bait the opponent into a situation where you want them to press a button and then counterpoke with armor. I mean, that's something that Kotal Khan in War God can do extremely well, and Shuffles uses it quite a lot. He commits to the overhead. He does things like the mid-low overhead mix-up. He then goes mid-low into a low as well. I mean, he has these Kotal Khan mix-ups on lockdown, and he's been doing very well for himself.
If Mitsuones doesn't quite understand how to punish, if he doesn't quite understand how to punish these Kotal Khan mix-ups, or if he's just not played Kotal Khan too much at this point, because when he was playing Euphemism, we didn't see a lot of punishes on Shinnok's very unsafe moves. Kotal Khan is much harder to punish than Shinnok is. So if he's not going to punish Shinnok, Shuffles is going to have free reign to do whatever he wants.
But also, I mean, speaking of that, I mean, the issue is, if he thinks that Mitsuones is going to try and press a button, can he counterpoke with armor? But the match is about to start, guys. You have 3 minutes as of now, as always, to make your predictions. If you think Mitsuones is going to win, you can vote for Mitsuones in the prediction system in Twitch chat. There's a Twitch bot in the chat which should hopefully be helping you guys out. And if you think Shuffles is going to win, then you obviously vote for Shuffles. Hopefully you guys have been successful so far. The more successful you are throughout the night increases your chances of winning a Mortal Kombat X t-shirt by the end of the night.
I think this one's going to be hard to call. I mean, like I said before, Shuffles is a phenomenal player. He knows Kotal Khan inside and out. Mitsuones is very aggressive and very brave in his plays. So this could go either way. I mean, a Vortex is a Vortex. Mitsuones knows how to enforce it. He understands Scorpion, and we'll have to see how Shuffles can deal with that sort of aggression.
Well, the thing is, Kotal Khan punishes very hard. I mean, this guy punishes incredibly hard as a character.
From a long range as well.
Especially when you've got meter to spend. So if he's fighting Mitsuones, who we already understand does play very unsafe because he goes for gut reads. If he just knows in his heart that the opponent is going to get hit by the mix-up he throws out, he'll do it. You know, if he thinks it's going to work. However, if it's blocked successfully and you get a free punish, Kotal Khan is one of those characters that will punish you like a truck and then bait you on wake up. Especially as Mitsuones, you know, we have seen him in many situations when the wake up meet and teleport comes, which is just yet another read to make. And you know, the reality is, if Shuffles get that knockdown with the good punish anyway, and then put Mitsuones in a position where he baits the next move to punish it just as hard again.
Well, that's what you get when you get mix-up based characters. I mean, a lot of people speculate that Kotal Khan is quite a weak character due to the fact that he doesn't really have any full-on ways to open you up. I mean, a term we throw out a lot on this show is 50-50.
50-50.
The overhead,
everyone's
the lows.
favourite mix-up game.
Yeah, a lot of characters in Mortal Kombat X have that option. They have that mix-up game. Kotal Khan is not one of those characters. However, unless you take into account his low sword or his overhead sword at the end of combos, but with the armor, the range, the damage, like he's got a lot of other tools other characters don't have. His down one is phenomenal. His jumping normals are terrific. Like his jumping normals are scary.
His jumping one has so much range. I mean, we see so many Kotal Khan players, you know, in tournaments like Peanut and everyone else that we've seen in these American tournaments, and you know, people like Shuffles, they get so much mileage out of that jump one because it goes so far forwards in the air, and it beats out so many moves. You just underestimate the range of it, and then get blown up for a full combo. And it's got really good priority on it too. It's very hard to anti-air that normal. So,
and on the ground, he is king. And
I agree.
he by far outranges Scorpion. Like something that I fear might happen in this matchup. We've got Inferno Scorpion, which I assume we'll see, versus what I'm assuming will be War God Kotal Khan. Scorpion is not going to get away with overhead minions against Kotal Khan.
Or low minions. You're going to get tagged by a forward 1 or a forward 2 all day against Kotal.
We are looking at mid-screen whiff punishes, block punishes from just the fact that Kotal Khan's strings just make him go that far. And they're like -2, minus barely anything on block. Like, this character knows how to play on the ground.
However, Mitsuones we've seen tries to punish a lot, or at least get a guaranteed mix-up. So if he punishes something, if he thinks something's on block and he tries to do a forward 2, is Shuffles going to acknowledge that and then bait him into doing a button and then armor straight through it? I mean, we're going to wait. Both players here, I think, are good to go, and we're going to find out right now. Hopefully, you guys' predictions at home are correct, and we're going to have a good game. Fingers crossed. All right, gets a good down 4 into an instant mix-up here from that overhead.
Does good block on the overhead. I mean, that's a situation that Kotal Khan has an overhead and a low that look very similar. Not too hard of a punish for Mitsuones. We see this a lot from him, but he does manage to get that situation. Another block on the overhead.
Oh, he tags him with the down 1. Kotal Khan's down 1. Such an amazing normal by itself. And as we mentioned there, guys, we really don't feel like Scorpion's going to get away with too many of those at forward 2 range or forward 1 range.
Oh, decides to... That was not a good break. He decides to use the low sword to save himself from about 10% damage against a character that will take away 30-40 per
Oh, a lovely
hit.
read on that teleport, though. I don't think Shuffles is going to get away with many of those thrown swords. I really think it's better off saving the bar for those counter opportunities. Here comes the next mix-up. He blocks it. Instead, he gets it down 1. That could have actually been a full combo punish, but that will actually take round 1, because that is actually one of my favourite moves in the game. The brutality from that. I really hope Shuffles' brutality is that, because that is my favourite brutality.
Well, that's one thing. That's one thing we see Shuffles do a lot. He knows that down 1. He knows the speed. If there's something that can be interrupted, that is the move he's going to try and interrupt it with. And we saw it just like that to really stop that on block.
Oh, here we go. The mix-up game.
That was the sort of break you want to see, to save yourself from a ton of damage.
Oh, but
and again with that down 1 to just challenge the
aggression.
It's so fast.
It's so fast. So you can challenge a slow. And there we go, right there. He baits the button press. Shuffle's doing such a good job of constantly baiting a button press. And if Shuffles can get this next mix up, he's in a good situation. And he acknowledges he's probably going to just try and do a wake-up teleport or something like that, but just tags him with a raw uppercut.
Swift boot to the midsection to take that match. There will be 1-0 to Shuffles. I mean, we saw a lot of combo drops there from Shuffles, which we don't normally see. But at the same time, we saw Mitsuones really trying to get that aggression. The only thing, Mitsuones wasn't managing to block the string into low, which was tagging him a lot. But as soon as he was, Shuffles was using the low sword, the overhead sword. Like, it was turning it into a mix-up on block.
It's one of the things that I really like we're seeing from Shuffles right now is when we saw Shuffles last play, he was against Faso. And although he was trying to play the Kotal Khan mix-up game, he basically went to the back 1-4, I believe that's the string, back 1-4 into overhead sword basically every time. I don't think we saw a single low sword from him the entire set.
But he's made the adjustment.
Which no longer enforced the mix-up game if you go to one option every time. Now we're seeing him go for much more mix-up potential. I mean, he's not going to get the full combo from the low, but enforcing the low to get you to block will then open you up for more overheads, which launch for big damage. And that's what we're seeing more now. Both players going straight into the next match. Hopefully Mitsuones can pull this one back.
Good block at this time. Again, not a massive punish, but he gets the situation, goes to the low minion again. Mitsuones with a very brave play, but it's working for him so well at this point.
Next mix-up, gets a really good low there, dedicates to it. He knows he's got a breaker, so he can go pretty nuts here. And here comes Mitsuones. Here comes the Scorpion Blender. Lovely grab. And that was one sequence. That's put him at really low health. Oh, tagged by the low minion once again.
Tries to sprint forward on reaction, but it does quite tag him on the way. This will likely be round 1 for Mitsuones. I don't think we're going to see any form of break attempt. Shuffles knows he is like... Again, it's about saving your meter, knowing that, yeah, you can break, but what situation are you going to be in at the end of the break? Like, if it's not good for you, don't do it. And he saved it for this round, so he now goes into this round with a breaker, with the armor, but he does walk into a spear.
That was crazy, insane read. He's going to get tagged again. Not necessarily. He tries to jump out. Good block on that overhead. Really nice block on the overhead. There's a low minion. Nope, gets tagged overhead.
It's always better to take, if you're going to take the overhead all the way from that string, take the high. Because the low one will give him a combo, but the overhead is only a single attack.
Unfortunately, we saw
we saw
a fairly meager punish on that low minion.
Attempts to break, but again does drop the combo. Seeing some potential shaky play and possibly some nerves from Shuffles right now.
Well, in these tournaments, you can get very nervous. It's very easy to your execution to drop, and that'll be a full combo punish. He opts to break, really risky stuff, but
he gets the low. This one hit, like this is the damage he got in round 1. This is the sequence of damage he took, so you can get this read, which he does.
Overhead. The next mix-up could be this entire game. Actually, no, if he spears this, that's going to be the game.
Wow. Wow. How about that? So just like that, like the questionable breaker, like that's a situation where
Normally, it looks like a really bad idea because you're massively down on life. But if you're playing a character like Scorpion, who potentially just needs that one touch to win an entire round, like that, the beautiful reads on Mitsuones, getting the overhead, getting the restand, that's what you need to see at this level. Here's the thing. It was a low minion that started that trance, that entire sequence. A low minion on block. A low minion on block from forward 2 range. You know, that could have very well have been a really bad break to lose all your bar, and then you instantly throw out a really unsafe move, which forward 2 would have blown up, and he would have lost the bar. But it was the reads. He was so confident it was going to work. Mitsuones just goes for his gut instinct in all of these mix-ups. You know, that on paper was a really silly thing to do, but because he was so confident, because he was so confident, it won him the game because he was successful in that read. That was a really fantastic sequence there from Mitsuones. I mean, he knows how to mix up with Scorpion. He knows how to do it. I mean, at this point, the winner will move into the winner semis, which will guarantee you at least $100. So the difference in losing here is going home with $100 at least, or going home with nothing. Or tries to do the overhead. I mean, that's actually much more punishable than we're seeing, but I guess any damage is good damage. Here comes those 50-50 mix-ups from Mitsuones. Lovely grab. Great thing there, just mixing up the grab to just enforce more than just a 50-50. Lovely. Goes to the whiff punish for the EX teleport. Mitsuones, he plays this Vortex game so well. And a grab once again. Looks like quite a dominant round one for Mitsuones. Like, he's really enforcing these mix-ups. Looks like Shuffles has to really just get this pressure in. Like, he's using a lot of armored interrupts at situations where it's just not really doing much for him. Goes to the meteor burn projectile to get the plus frames on it, but again, the teleport does quite stop that. He's getting tagged by, he's blocking all of those overheads. And that point, again, that point blank low minion, but he's just so confident Shuffles is going to press a button. And there should be a full combo punish. Unfortunately, he hasn't really got the bar to capitalize hugely. He probably could have a forward one back too, but as I said earlier, any damage is solid damage at this point. That would be a full conversion. Unfortunately, a little bit auto-correcting issue there. Got a little bit tongue twisted. Again, looks like Mitsuones decides to break the low. Again, shades of just like last match, manages to get a low minion. This could be the sequence. He's missing out on the meter though, so... Oh, lovely grab. This next touch will kill him. Armors through. Doesn't quite get the forward two. That was such a costly... what's going on? What's going on? Oh, Lord. That could have been a full combo punish. Oh, he gets tagged by the mix-up! Why does Shuffles keeps making comebacks? Why does he keep making comebacks? He keeps getting it off a dropped combo as well. That's like the consistent time Shuffles will drop a combo and then he just goes into beast mode. He's like, nope, I'm not losing like that. Wins the round. Here comes the low scoop. Oh, forward two makes the teleport whiff entirely. That's going to be a whiff punish. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get the down one. Oh, and he baits that button press. That's the challenge you have to respect against Kotal Khan, because every time there's at least 30% damage, that is going to hurt. Oh, the jump kick teleport. He bet it all on that. Beautiful break. He has a break, so it's not that bad. That's going to be a full punish. This could be the round. Not quite. One more hit will do it. One more hit. But Mitsuones has it in him to make these comebacks. That's going to be a full combo punish, unfortunately. The takedown was not really the option. He went for it, but didn't quite get successful. But can we talk about that comeback for a second? Can we talk about that? It had a questionable start. It had a questionable start off the back of a couple of drops, but Shuffle was basically saying to Mitsuones, you're not the only person that can make a comeback. We saw a really amazing comeback from Mitsuones in the game before that, and then now Shuffles makes an equally crazy comeback in the round, and Scorpion. He himself wins the game. Against a character that is going to potentially take the round in one touch. That's good stuff. This is a good set. I'm enjoying this. I mean, again, we're seeing more punishment from the unsafe play. I mean, granted, his reads, Mitsuones' reads are still incredibly strong right now. He's still playing unsafe. It's not a landslide. Like these are close games. Game one was pretty one-sided. Game 2 was pretty one-sided, and that was close. Like, this is the sort of set you want to see at this level. When there is money on the line, when there are league points on the line. As we saw before, Mitsuones is in your top 5 current European places, and Shuffles isn't. So if Shuffles manages to win this set, he is going to, take points away from Mitsuones effectively, and then potentially get his place on that top 5 list. Oh, Shuffles has been here a lot. Lovely block on the low overhead. I mean, that's like 2 for 2 games that Shuffles has started with that. So at this point, I think Mitsuones is just kind of expecting it. Does dial into a teleport, but doesn't quite get the punish on it. Oh, gets tagged by that mix-up once again. Oh, and he challenges the takedown. No invincibility on the regular takedown there. Mitsuones seems to break basically every touch when he's got a break available. I think he doesn't like momentum being not in his favor. Like, he knows that every breaker is going to put the game back to a neutral situation. With a character like Scorpion, that's what you need to get your stuff going. Unfortunately, getting tagged by that low minion once again. R.I.P. Blanche. R.I.P. Blanche. Gone and forgotten. Snap. Oh, he's gonna get tagged. That will not be the game, but is a teleport coming? Is a teleport coming? Really nice delayed wake up, but unfortunately it will be match point.
Tries to wake up with a down 2. We're seeing shades of desperation from Mitsuones right now. Like, he has managed to make comebacks like this in the past. He needs to keep himself together, get that touch, and make the reads that has got him so far in the past.
But unfortunately, Shovel's getting a really good tag there on the overhead into Sword. Teleport whiffs, and that's again that down 1 being so quick, and his other strings also being quick. Right there, you can see just capitalization on every single low poke. Here comes that zoning, goes follow minion, cancels. He does a really good job of cancelling that. Just
good bait on the armor. No quite punish, but does manage to take some damage himself.
What I really like from Mitsuones is he uses the teleport cancel just to save himself from the corner. Looking all Shuffles. Look, here he comes.
Shuffles, like, it looks like he is going to take the overhead for days.
Oh, right as we say, he blocks high and gets tagged.
This next mix-up, this could be the sequence he needs to win.
Mitsuones, good grab. Next touch will do it, but he's full screen. Here comes the zoning. Oh, he bet it on that low grab. He bet it on that low grab, I think. Really good stuff. Mitsuones' ability to just keep composed and keep up that mix-up.
So we're still at match point Shuffles, but Mitsuones looking to really bring this one back.
Unfortunately, play having some connection issues, I feel. Oh, he's going to block the overhead. Nice down 1. Ah, full combo. He's going to wake up teleport again. Risky business, but it does pay off for him.
If I were Shuffles, I would break immediately in that sort of situation. When you've got that much bar to spend, and just to get that Vortex out of the way, manages to get the tag.
This could be what he needs. This could be the first touch he needs. What's coming next? That's the question.
Good block
Blocks
this
the
time.
overhead. Good stuff. Tries to punish. Doesn't quite get the punish he wants.
Gets catching, blocking low. The overhead last hit that string does catch him.
One thing Mitsuones seems to do here is just a lot of delayed wake up. You know, he gets a lot of mileage out of that delayed wake up, and he gets really good stuff on it. Oh, here comes the counter poke. Has to break in that situation.
Oh, this is a gnome! Just like that, Mitsuones manages to bring it 2-2. After a quite unfortunate exchange in the middle of that game, Mitsuones does manage to keep it composed during it, and he does manage to take this game. So looking at 2-2 right now. All to play for, 1 match away from finding out who's going to get $100 and who's going to walk away with nothing.
Good stuff though. I mean, this is probably one of the first 2-2s we've seen in a while. This is the deciding game of the set. I mean, now this one game is the deciding factor between $100 and no dollars.
But it's like I said before, it's not only that. It is the fact that currently Mitsuones is in your top 5 players for, you know, the European spots for the top 16 later in July. Shuffles isn't, and he's been consistently placing in these top 16. So if he manages to get this, which will bag him at least 4th place, he's going to get substantially more points than Mitsuones is going to. And if he does manage to win this and then make his way into grand finals, if he beats Foxy, he's taking points away from current top places, which is going to get him like smack bang right up in that list.
This is an important time for Shuffles. This is a very important time, and there's a lot riding on this set. Hopefully he can keep it together, because it's been a really good set so far. 2-2, this game is the deciding factor between not only the placement points and $100 between no dollars, but also the fact that Shuffles, if he wins this game, will be in a much better situation to give himself some of those placement points.
Manages to get first hit again. Decides to end differently. It looks like Mitsuones possibly assumed that he was going to go for the overhead again, but just decides to challenge it with that start. Really making the most of these long normals. I mean, just like that, it will make the teleport whiff. Mitsuones with a good conversion, though, on this jump kick teleport. Gives him the full situation of 50-50. Will he go for it? Will he go for one of his token throws? Yeah, just like that.
I think one of the things to bear in mind here is that Mitsuones pretty much does a delayed wake up on almost every knockdown when he gets hit by that sword. But when you do a max delayed wake up, you can't wake up attack. So I feel like it's worth kind of baiting the delayed wake up and then going for some kind of mix up, because you are in War God. Oh, you're getting tagged by so many of those dive kicks. And this is going to be Mitsuones' round, I feel. Match point Mitsuones.
Now we start seeing some, I mean, the thing is, I understand why Mitsuones is doing that, because you've got a Kotal Khan full screen with no stamina because he is just broke. There is no reason to not chuck that out there. But Mitsuones needs to start
delayed wake up, max delayed wake up once again. But he tries to do wake up forward too. I mean, you can normally capitalize on the fact that if he's delaying wake up every single time, you get a free mix up essentially. Oh, nice teleport. Now he finds himself in the corner. Oh, good stuff there. Oh, jump kick teleport, corners himself. No real punish on that though.
Punish will not do at this point.
Delayed wake up, max delayed wake up once again. As I mentioned, he's going for that every time, but a really nice block. Doesn't quite get the punish he was after.
I mean, Mitsuones with a good adaptations on these block strings. Some really good play for Mitsuones right now. Shuffles with the EX.
Oh, lovely bait. What a read. Match point. Both players right now.
Shuffles has lost the corner advantage. Mitsuones has got 1 bar over him right now.
To all those at home that have made your predictions, I hope you're going to be correct on this one round. Oh, full combo has to break. Has to be a full combo punish. No, not a full combo punish. He does it down 1, but I don't think it matters at this point. Are
you
we
get
gonna see a
damage
Mitsuones?
immediately after, it's not so bad, but you need to start punishing way harder than that. But he does get the down one again.
Are we going to see a token Mitsuones comeback? It's looking unlikely right now, but he has got the bar to work with.
There it is. What? Oh, does get tagged by it. Very interesting exchange.
And he blocks the low again.
And another down one punish.
Where are the punishes? And that's going to take it. That's so good.
That round was
What was
weird.
going on?
That
What was
was weird.
happening? But it worked, and Shuffles is going to move on.
massive congratulations to Shuffles for managing to secure his place in the semis, where he has now bagged himself a minimum of $100. How do you call a match like that?
I saw so many down one punishes, and I'm really scared for him because there were so many situations where he'd won the game, like ages before he won the game, through punishes alone. But unfortunately,
Right,
you know,
okay, cool.
slap him in the legs.
Yep.
Take that. That'll stop you.
Uh-oh.
But that was a crazy game. Shuffles will be moving forward. I mean, huge, good stuff to Mitsuones, though. That was a really strong set. He was making the adjustments. His block on those mix-ups became very strong.
He adapted very well to that matchup. Very well. I'm very impressed with Mitsuones' play today.
But, you know, Shuffles will be moving forward. I mean, that was a crazy good set. Crazy good set. But unfortunately, yeah, Shuffles will be moving forward. I mean, we have two UK guys now in the semi-finals. Looks like MKX has lost to Sumerian. So Sumerian will be moving forward as well, which is going to be good stuff there. So the next match, we're going to have Fasol versus Curtis G. Fasol, another one of our returning players. We've seen him so many times already. Playing Buzzsaw Kung Lao. I mean, I don't know whether he's going to be using Buzzsaw Lao again, but he's got a lot of mileage with this character so far. So, you know, hopefully we're going to see what he's going for right now.
So the match is about to begin, guys. You now have 3 minutes to make your predictions, as you have been doing all evening. For 3 minutes, you can now decide who you think will win this following match. Will it be Curtis G or will it be Fasol? We haven't seen Curtis G on this top 16 before. We've seen Fasol plenty of times. We have no idea what characters are going to be picked, so it's all to play for, and you guys will get that one step closer to winning those t-shirts. So make your predictions now, and best of luck. Hopefully you will be successful.
I mean, I don't know how you guys felt about predicting the last game.
I saw a lot of nerves.
I
saw a lot of nerves. I mean, obviously, you know, I don't mean for it to sound disrespectful when we say, oh, they've got to punish harder, they've got to punish harder. But I can see the players right there, when they're doing that sort of play, they want to win so hard. I'm seeing nerves because I know the players want to get that round. They know they're close. Mitsuones he knew he was one read away from taking that round. Shuffles knew all he needed was one punish. And when it's getting that hard to deal with, that's when you see play like that. So I don't mean for it to sound disrespectful, but you can understand just the what's going through the minds of players when they're in a situation like that.
Well, and the opportunity is presented to you when it's all you're planning in your mind is that one situation. In those 10 situations, when exactly what you want appears on a silver plate in the form of a punish, sometimes you're not really gonna be as ready as you probably once thought you were in these high-level sort of just these tense tournament situations. As we said, guys, you know, there was $100 riding on that match. The placement points to really make sure that Shuffles can actually move forward in this bracket. You know, he's been consistently placing.
He's put himself in a really good situation now. He's bagged himself at least 4th place today. If he beats Foxy, he will be knocking out the current top placer and current top point earner, and he will be able to get himself a minimum of like 75, 100 points, just like that. So in the point of 1 week, even though he's been in every top 16 so far, this 1 week may put him all the way up to the top.
You know, considering so many people are saying that Kotal Khan is a weak character, he doesn't half keep placing in these tournaments around the world, does he?
Obviously, we've got Belial in CIS really doing his thing, being like, he is currently the CIS top point earner with Kotal Khan. We're seeing Shuffles here today. I mean, it's all to play for, and these characters have a lot of representation around the leagues. As you can see, 1st place will get $500, 2nd place $300, and 3rd and 4th will get 100. So Shuffles has already bagged himself 100 of that, as has Foxy Grandpa. So we'll see who's going to walk away with 300 at this point.
Looks like both players are in this King of the Hill and just getting ready to go. I'm not sure how to call this one. We've seen Fasol play a lot more. I mean, we've seen he plays Buzzsaw, Kung Lao, and Katana. He's been getting a lot more mileage out of Buzzsaw Lao, especially with Foxy as well. He's had 2 mirror matches in 2 weeks, you know, with this character. So, you know, I'm willing to bet that Fasol's gone home from those sets and has really understood and looked into what can he do to improve as a Kung Lao player. And here he is again. You know, this guy's been consistent. As we mentioned, for those that don't know about Fasol, he plays basically every new game that comes out, every new fighting game that comes out, and he's consistently good in all of them early. And here he is in Mortal Kombat X doing, you know, just as much of a good job as he's always done.
We've not seen Curtis G play yet, but at the same time, you know, he's made top 16. He's managed to make almost the semis. He's managed to make top 8 this week. And we know there's quite a substantial amount of good players that enter these leagues that don't make it to top 16. You know, Nivek hasn't made it this week because he got knocked out by a player we haven't seen here before. So I really hope we see some interesting play from Curtis G. Again, I don't know what character he's going to play. It looks like he might be playing Kenshi, if we're going by this button check correctly, but that would be interesting, because we might see another Kung Lao versus Kenshi match.
But the interesting thing is, it won't be the same match we saw last time, because in this check we have here, I mean, I don't know whether he's using this character. It might just be a check character, but balanced. He's using balanced in the button checks. So although it's going to be Kung Lao versus Kenshi once again, it's balanced Kenshi, not possessed Kenshi. So, I mean, that's one of the things that really excites me about Mortal Kombat X. Is
the variations.
The variation system. No match is the same. If you have one character and he fights the same character in 3 variations, the matchup could very well be different in all 3 variations. Just because these little things that your character has access to that become very important, whether it's that magic special move, the magic button, or, you know, just, you know, the inclusion of armor, you know, the inclusion of a wake-up attack, or something that's just faster than you need it to be. I mean, these matchups are all different because of the variation system.
Well, to those of you at home that want more information on this league as it goes down, please do follow ESL Mortal Kombat on Twitter and Facebook, as well as NetherRealm on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook for updates on the league as we go, because it's very important to stay up to date, especially if you're taking part, to see, you know, what the rules are, how's the bracket looking, what are the dates, times, check-in, all that important stuff. So that's how you find all that information.
For information for more stuff on this tournament and how you can, more importantly, how you guys can actually enter yourself in these free-to-enter online tournaments for Xbox One, it's esl.gg/MKX Pro League. As we mentioned before, guys, I mean, these are free-to-enter tournaments. Everybody can enter them, and as we've said before,
we're not even halfway through the league yet. There is plenty of time for new players to come in, show these guys what you're made of, and take their league points away from them, as well as their money.
I mean, that's always good. Just robbing someone else of success. I mean, that's what I live for. That's why I would enter tournaments. It's not to win, but to prevent someone else from winning.
Oh, no.
But anyway.
You play Quan Chi, so we can kind of
I picked a good character there. I picked a good character for that.
Oh, Lord.
I'll 50-50 someone all the way home.
So have a look. We're going to have, again, I hope it's going to be Kenshi versus Kung Lao. I mean, we saw it before. I mean, again, it would really reinforce the difference of the variations. If we see balanced, beat Buzzsaw this time, if that's what we see. But his player card's got Kitana all over it. I don't know why you'd have a player card with a character unless that's what you play.
Looks like both players are going to be setting up right now. Actually, looks like
Sub-Zero.
for Sub-Zero.
Well, I'm completely wrong.
Well, we were both wrong. I mean, this is an interesting match. I mean, we see this quite a lot in the form of Use for Glue versus Foxy. I mean, you know, they play this match a lot. But this is going to be Grandmaster again. Grandmaster, probably the most popular variation of Sub-Zero right now. I mean, it's very well-rounded. It is one of the characters that has actually been affected in this balance patch. The clone has been adjusted. The main factor here is that
if he blocks an attack while the clone is currently out, the clone will disappear. So if you jump at him and sort of kick him in the back of the head or something out of the corner,
it's a significant change. It's a significant change. But I mean, you know, these top players, what comes next is adjusting to changes. I mean, you know, these characters are still strong. That's a good intro dialogue. Sorry, I just wanted to listen to that.
We see some Cold War Sub-Zero in the newly released pack that came out yesterday. So let's see if we can see some cool stuff from this cool character.
I'll stop with the puns, please. All right, give it a rest. That's going to be a full combo from Faso. I mean, he doesn't quite get the full confirm mid-screen with that double overhead. But here we come, trying to fight off. That should be a full combo punish again.
Why are we seeing so many down 1 punishes? That is what I want to know.
I think a lot of the time you just don't expect an attack to come out. Here comes the low hat setup. Still there, and that's going to jail into some more block stuff. Really nice mid-screen low hat pressure.
Now, K-Man really good with the blocks right now. Looks like he's played Kung Lao once or twice before. But Faso, just this relentless pressure.
Would chew up the clone. Again, Buzzsaw, the low hat, just constantly keeping it in check. The low hat recovers very quickly. So in these situations where he can have the clone, you can really do a good job of just keep eliminating the clone before it is even, you know, there long enough to cause a threat.
Both players sort of trying to really get these jumping normals. I mean, both Kung Lao and Sub-Zero have fantastic jumping attacks, but Kung Lao's jump 2 just has that raw range and the hitbox that you just can't really contend with at most ranges.
I really like that skin, though. I mean, I really like that skin.
We've seen the Kano one with the beret.
The Kano one, that's probably my favorite costume for him so far. I think it looks really cool.
Agreed. So Fasol's really not biting to this full-screen clone push. I mean, if you've got the life lead, there's no real reason to fear Sub-Zero sitting behind a clone, unless you're cornered, and that's where he's put it.
Nice break, just to try and sort of fight himself out of the corner. Prevent yourself from being hit in that hard knockdown setup.
Fasol gets the read in the teleport, but doesn't quite manage to convert off it.
I think mid-screen, I really don't feel like K-Man's getting much mileage out of that clone. Lovely freeze, though, just to chew up that... just to chew up the spin there.
Right, we'll see. Hopefully we can see Curtis G get some clones before he manages to jump out. But just like that, he gets cornered.
That's not where you want to be.
Exactly, versus Buzzsaw Lao. The corner is not home. Go home to outside of the corner.
He keeps him in the corner with that throw.
Yeah, clone. A clone. Curtis
nice
G.
bait on the spin. Gets a full combo punish. That's exactly what you need.
Wins the clone for the meter build. Wonderful play here. I think the reason he didn't go for the clone was because he knew that Kung Lao's meter burn spin was going to beat it. He made that read. He saw the spin and he blocked it. So that was good play.
I mean, Kung Lao really is one of the better characters at punishing Sub-Zero's clone. And a really nice anti-air there from Faso. You really can't jump into Kung Lao as long as he has meter.
Oh, just jump straight into the clone. What will Curtis get from this?
Oh, doesn't quite get the
9%
combo.
damage. And then, oh, corner, but oh, the throw. That's a cheeky move.
I mean, he tried to follow up with the combo there, but I think he was out of stamina, so was unable to capitalize. This will be a full combo, though. Really good stuff into the clone. Oh, really, really nice meter burn spin.
Just
there.
as he was saying, Kung Lao can deal with this clone corner stuff. We see it right there. Doesn't quite manage to convert into the low hat. I think that's what he went for, but without the hat on his head, he physically couldn't do the move. That's a thing that Kung Lao has to really respect. The trade does give him the ice ball. How much damage will we see Curtis get from this?
Nice adjustment there.
18%.
Is the clone coming? No, he decides to go straight in, and here comes that obstacle course.
At this point, he has to watch for that meter burn spin. Leaving the ground is always a risk at this point.
Oh, and he gets it! He regenerates the hat just in time to get the anti-air.
But he
has
blocked
the break.
in time. Curtis G with a good break. We're looking at one bar.
Fasol's got a bar! I was about to say Fasol has a bar, so I
How
don't
do
know.
you approach? I mean, when you are chip damage away, like, especially spin chip damage away, and he's in your face, like the last thing you expect him is to teleport. So that's some good reading on Fasol's
It's
part.
very hard to make a comeback against Kung Lao when he's got meter burn spin ready.
Especially if you're in chip territory.
If
I mean,
you're
his X-ray does 9% chip. That's
Yeah.
almost 10% on chip from his X-ray.
Yeah, but I mean, like in those situations where he's got the meter burn spin available, I mean, it's hard. You can't really go in and do anything because he's gonna either chip you out with meter burn spin,
You have to like,
hit you with
respect it.
meter burn spin.
You
Like,
have to always respect the meter burn spin if he's got bar.
It's a very strong attack. I mean, I don't think the character was a fault though. I mean, I think K-Man has what it takes to win this. So you know, I would be surprised if he doesn't go with Sub-Zero again. I mean, it's always worth kind of like in a set like that where the character isn't really at fault there.
It was a close
comes
game.
down to reads.
That
more than
came down
anything
to the
else.
wire. Like, this is still very much like all to play for both of these players. I mean, Fasol, again, as expected, we've seen him really refine his Buzzsaw Lao from when we last saw him. If he's successful and wins this set, he will not play Foxy again until at least Grand Finals if they were both, you know, winning through. So if we see this Buzzsaw mirror match 3 weeks running, it won't be until Grand Finals.
Interesting stuff. I mean, you know, we've seen plenty of Kung Lao mirrors recently. So, I mean, you wouldn't know how to call it, but, you know, that Fasol has to reach that first. I mean, K-Man, he's no slouch. He's doing well.
No, like I said, it was a really close game. It was just meter burn spin took it. No quite whiff punish on that, but, you know, as long as he isn't getting hit himself, it's not too bad. He is sitting at the first meter advantage, but he does get hit by the throw, which will bring this match for Fasol right now.
The interesting thing here is he pushes him into the corner. Instant sprint. Really risky meter burn slide, but he has repositioned himself. And right as we were talking about the clone there, Kung Lao doing a really strong job of just blowing up the clone. Here comes the low hats, getting tagged by more low hats. Trying to check him with the freeze. Fasol being very patient right now. I mean, that's one thing you can do against Grandmaster is just sit on the life lead. If you have the life lead, he can't actually hurt you from far away unless he throws a clone. But if he's throwing clones, then there's other things you can do to stop that.
I get the feeling that Curtis G hasn't really played this matchup too often, in the sense that we're seeing a lot of Kung Lao teleports come out, going unpunished. You can neutral jump punch those the same way as Shidok's Tricky Portal, like Possess Kenchi's teleport attack. Like, you can neutral jump it on reaction. But obviously, you know, the threat of the spin, blowing up a neutral jump, like if you're full screen and you see him leave the ground with him, neutral jump, and see what you can go for. Because if he does a teleport, you can just smack him on the head for it every time. But that was a good read on Fasol's part.
There goes the clone. That's one of the patch changes that the clone does disappear upon taking block damage, and Fasol will take that round.
But another close round. Another close round. To see what the players can do right now. I mean, like I said, Curtis G, he's losing the round so far, but they are so close.
Here comes that low hat game. It just eliminates the clone, really. I mean, you can afford to throw a low hat and recover. Really nice jump, but I don't think he was actually ready for the jump to connect. He opts to go for a throw. I think it was already in his mind that that was going to be a block jumping punch. Oh, lovely armor and a really nice hard knockdown there. Commits into it, but that's actually not a true combo, as far as I'm aware.
Fasol's just caught not holding the block button, unfortunately. Fasol is sitting with no bar. He will build one very soon, though. All he's going to need is one more special at this point. And there we go. There's the bar.
K-Man fighting his way back.
Again, that's a non-combo, but Fasol caught pressing buttons.
Doesn't quite get the convert, but gets a lovely grab there. Fasol reluctant to spin right now. Is a spin going to come? That is the question. Or is he, if he faced Udo one around, he's probably opting to save the bar.
In the corner is combo. That's where you want to see it. And that will take the round for Curtis G. He has Kung Lao cornered. In this situation, like, Grandmaster, like Sub-Zero, has phenomenal corner pressure. But all it takes is one move for Kung Lao to put you there, and that's where he is king.
Oh, a really lovely jump in from K-Man. I mean, he's getting so many good reads on when to jump against his character. I mean, normally when Kung Lao has bar, it's very hard to jump in against him because of the strength of that anti-air.
But just like that, he has 0 bar right now.
Lovely trade. K-Man, unfortunately, doesn't, because he sprinted in to capitalize, didn't actually have the stamina to follow up with the combo.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, it's something it's taking players quite a while to sort out, is that there is now a stamina meter. You have to really manage that. I mean,
quite frequently we see players, I do it quite often, like just forgetting you don't have the stamina to really follow stuff up. And in situations like that, it costs you damage. But this is just Faso is putting on just the spacing game that Buzzsaw Lao can really do in this variation. And he's punishing that low ice as well. Really good stuff. Just, that's one of the things that he recovers so quickly on these projectiles in Buzzsaw. He can constantly just check you from full screen. I mean, he's eliminating the clone. The clone isn't really a threat at all. And from this range, I mean, Faso, he can afford to play the life lead. K-Man can't hurt him from a distance.
Exactly. I mean, that's something, it's playing the matchup.
Oh, lovely trade there. K-Man has to get as much damage as he can. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get the convert. Goes for the armor. Really good stuff. I mean, meter burn spin again. Comeback territory when there's a meter burn spin there is very difficult. But, you know, K-Man, I'm sure he's capable, but right as I say it, jumps in and gets anti-aired by the meter burn spin.
Faso manages to take this 2-0. Like, potentially one more game into this until Faso manages to make his way yet again into semi-finals. So Faso is like, he's a good example of players that repeatedly come back into this league, consistently place, but they improve. They improve as the weeks go on.
It's the matchup.
And then they start playing higher.
I mean, it's matchup knowledge above all else. I mean, when you're confident in your character, Faso clearly confident in his Buzzsaw Lao, but he's playing the matchup here. He hasn't just got this one, you know, not saying other players do in the league at all, but you know, Faso isn't one of those players that kind of has one play style in his head. You know, that he's playing the Sub-Zero
Adapting is
matchup
key
here.
to winning any competitive match.
Well, he acknowledges that when he's been explosive and he's landed that one hit he needs to get a significant life lead by like 50% damage, he's sitting full screen, because Grandmaster Sub-Zero can't really hurt you from far away, apart from throwing clones, which is really easy to dodge anyway. So when Faso realizes he actually has the life lead, he's playing on that, and then forcing Sub-Zero to come into him. When Sub-Zero has to come in, he now has to face this obstacle course of low hats and mid-range hats, which, you know, and you can't jump because you get meter burn span. So, I mean, Faso is just playing this matchup incredibly well right now.
I mean, they could, like, again, there could be one match left in this set. The question, will the adaptation be made? Because he's getting punished for a lot of stuff. So when you start getting punished, it's a question of, okay, I can't do this. What can I do instead? That's what you need to see in sets like this. When there's like $100 on the line, like this.
It looks like K-Man is going for Grandmaster Sub again. I mean, he's doing really well. I mean, like I said,
they're not complete landslides.
It's not the fault of the character that is causing these losses. And K-Man, I'm sure he acknowledges that, and he's going to make the adjustments necessary going into the next match. This could be a 3-0, or K-Man could fight back and win the whole set. It's all going to ride on this one game. Again, the low hat just eliminating the threat of the clone from any range, really.
Got the whiff punish with the dive kick. Faso has managed to bag himself first bar, which again, Kung Lao is so important. He's just walked into the corner in just a matter of seconds. Here he is. Reburn slide just to get himself out of the situation. Oh, we don't see a punish. Oh, and again, no punish on the back too.
Oh, lovely timing on the clone though. He knows when he can jump when the clone's about to disappear. Doesn't commit into the ice ball there. Good block on the low hat. No meter burn spin from Faso. I think Faso's going to remember that he pressed a button after that low hat. We may indeed see a meter burn spin the next time.
Ooh, and again a jump in. Faso really being quite conservative with his meter burn spins this time. I mean, it's been winning him the rounds in the past, but this time we're not really seeing him go to it.
K-Man is pressing a lot of buttons after those low hats. I mean, I think Faso is going to remember that. I think, you know, we may see meter burn spin after the next few low hats. Oh, lovely, good clone. Really nice clone there.
This K-Man has been playing so well in this round, but just the low hats are just adding up one after another, and just it's chipping that health down to the point that he's approaching really hard to come back from territory against this character, and just like that, no right confirmed for Faso, doesn't quite get it, but the meter burn spin, ask and you shall receive.
Match point, Faso. I mean, that meter burn spin is such a good move. You've probably heard us say that a bajillion times in these 3 weeks already.
And you will continue to do so as long as we keep seeing this character.
It's really good stuff though. I mean, here comes on the low hat. I mean, that's one of the things Buzzsaw can't do is get mid-screen damage without bar. I mean, his punishes will be meager, but it's more so the positioning and the knockdown and just this crazy high-low game that doesn't do much damage, but it's always there. And by the time you've blocked a low hat successfully, you've at like half damage. Here comes Faso once again. Oh, crazy low hat pressure once again. Blocks again, no meter burn spin.
Ooh, don't want to jump over, so risky, but Curtis he manages to get his way out of the corner. He needs to stay away. If he gets cornered one more time, this will be the set for him, I fear.
When is the next meter burn spin coming? That's the question. Is K-Man going to jump in on prediction of these low hats? And is he going to get meter burn spam for his troubles?
This is a trade that he simply can't take at this health.
Meter burn spin. He can't go in to punish. Oh no, he can. He jumped over. Really nice jump there. Good stuff. Oh, are we going to see meter burn spin? He tries the armor. He has one more piece of
Chip
armor
down.
left.
No, don't jump in just like that. The chip would have been it. Oh, Fasol again.
Risky business, but Fasol just not punishing these jumps. So Fasol's K-Man's getting away with it, and he gets tagged by the low hat.
Again, it's the trade. It's such a hard trade. The low hat is just going to eliminate any form of grounded game against characters that normally, because like the ice ball is a slow projectile. It is a very slow attack. Like teleporting characters can teleport in reaction to it.
Probably one of the easier moves in the game to teleport in reaction to.
Any fast character is going to trade not very often with it. But Buzzsaw Lau is one of those characters that is going to get his low hat, is going to win that trade often, and it's going to cost him. I mean, that last game, he wasn't really, like, you know, Curtis G wasn't getting hit by a lot of combos, he wasn't getting hit by a lot of jump-ins, all that sort of stuff that you normally see Kung Laos get away with. It was just chipping down. Low hat after low hat after low hat after low hat.
Buzzsaw Lau,
we saw him win.
Buzzsaw Kung Lao is definitely not a character that's going to just do big combos after big combos. He's got mix-ups, but he's going to chip you very rapidly in a short space of time. But Faso will be moving forward.
I'm very, 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 very excited to see this match coming up.
Sumerian.
We have Sumerian, the Greek powerhouse. We have not seen him play on stream yet. He has consistently done well in these online leagues. He managed to get second place in one of the pre-seasons, losing only to Nivek, who is his training partner. And like I said before, like this guy has a competitive history in Mortal Kombat games. He was a very powerful player in Mortal Kombat 9, a good Johnny Cage player, played a multitude of characters in that game as well, and he's back in Mortal Kombat X to show what he's doing. And he is playing up against Rob My Taco today.
We've had the pleasure of fighting against Sumerian many years ago. Well, I say many years ago, probably about 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
3 or 4 years
It's
ago.
4 years, many years.
Probably.
I don't think it matters.
But anyway, we fought against Sumerian at the World Game Cup in France. This was some time ago, and he was playing a really mean Johnny Cage there, and he consistently played well, played really well there. And you know, from that point on, and even before that, you know, this guy was doing really well at Greek tournaments, European tournaments for Mortal Kombat, playing a really sick Johnny Cage. I don't think he actually plays Cage in this game.
I think it's Jackson
But
Raiden.
I do feel like I think he plays Jackson Raiden. But the important thing is that Sumerian is here in this top 8, and he's here to play. And I'm really excited to finally see him. I've not seen Sumerian play. I've only ever heard good things about this
But
guy.
I've not seen Taco play either.
Yeah, this could be. I mean, this could be either way. I mean, both players. I mean, like I said, they're in the top 8. You know, everyone that is in the top 8 is there for a reason. So, you know, both players are no slouch, and this should be a really good set.
That's a question of how it's going to go, I suppose. I mean, if we see Raiden's always got a good chance to win. However, Raiden was one of the characters that was hit quite hard in today's balance patch for Xbox One.
It was only really damaged, though. It was only really
But that's
damaged.
what I mean. I mean, that's what he's taken. But we've seen Tony T on YouTube has already found alternate 1-bar combos for massive damage with this character. So obviously he's still got them there. But, you know, we've seen a massive damage reduction to Raiden. Apparently, supposedly, I've not quite seen exactly how much damage he now doesn't deal instead. But before, he was doing like 50% in the corner, into restands, into looping back into itself, and all that sort of nonsense. But he still has those tools. Raiden still has meter build and Thunder God. He's still got damage. He's still got mix-ups. He's still got wake-ups. He's still got mobility. He's still got corner carry. Like, he's still got a lot to work with. And Sumerian is a good player. Like, he wouldn't be at this point if he didn't understand this game very well. And especially the character he plays.
Should be a good set. I mean, the Greek guys in general, I mean, the Greek scene has always been incredibly strong, especially in Europe. The Greek players they are no joke. I know they're all very solid. I mean, during the days of Mortal Kombat 9, we had players like, you know, Nicolas, who is now actually living in Chicago.
He's with GGA now.
He's
like,
with
GGA.
GGA.
He plays with them all the time.
Nicolas is now part of GGA. But you've got, you know, you have players like Nicolas, Nivek, Sumerian, Hidan, Metsus, you know, Quark, all these players that have been really strong players the whole time, and they've really excelled in NetherRealm titles, and they have done for many years. And you know, they're all going in just as hard for, you know, for this. I mean, there was a Greek qualifier for the Mortal Kombat Cup where Metsus actually took that one over Sumerian and Nivek, which was quite awesome because, I mean, Metsus has always been an Ermac specialist. And he's playing Ermac again in Mortal Kombat X, playing a bit of Goro as well. I mean, it's like we've said about these character specialists that know what character they want to play, and they just run with it. You know, they're not going to focus on loads of different characters. They're going to play one character, and because of the variation system, they get more tools anyway than they would have had, you know, in other games. But
it's how these players get their practice as well. I mean, we see a lot of players will do just ranked matches, play matches, a lot of online stuff. But players that we're seeing win a lot of the sets, a lot of the tournaments, a lot of the important stuff, they get their practice either offline with their local training buddies, their training partners, plays either, you know, on the same level as them, plays better than them. Like that's one of the best ways to learn a game, is to just lose non-stop to the same players who understand the game and find out why are they winning, why are you losing,
or
like, what are you doing
sometimes
wrong?
win, maybe win.
Yeah, but that's
you
what
might
I mean.
win sometimes.
But no, you will, like, in time. That's all it takes. But these players get their practice through extended sets, even if it's online, long sets with people near them, people with really good connections that they can just sit down for about an hour or two and just grind matchups. They just play. And that's the practice they get. And this is the situations they find themselves in. You know, they're making for money.
I mean, I think it's all good. I mean, we have one thing we haven't really seen many people pick right now is Aaron Black. we've seen a lot of Aaron Blacks in tournaments around America and some of the UK Mortal Kombat Cup. But for you at home that really like Aaron Black, I mean, I like Aaron Black now. I didn't at first, understandably. We've got an Aaron Black video to show you guys, which is the combat class, brought to you by ESL. See you in a minute.
Peggy 18.
Researching a new role.
I've played gunslingers before.
I'm the real deal.
Aaron Black, mercenary for Outworld, is as mysterious as he is deadly. Originally from Earthrealm, this gun-toting cowboy offers up a dirty bag of tricks and services to the highest bidder. He's a personal favorite of the Fatal 8 champion, CR Sonic Fox.
It's just money, nothing personal.
In the marksman variation, Aaron Black equips his trusty rifle. Long shot, down forward X, can be held to trick your opponents or dash cancel to pressure them up close. Aaron Black can use his special move Unload, down back X, to create space from his opponents or enhance it to juggle them for a combo. Don't forget to lay down your caltrops, down back A, to cover your retreat, and enhance your swing shot, down back Y, for high damage follow-ups.
Happiness is a warm gun. Let's teach you some manners.
In the gunslinger variation, Standoff, down back X, lays down a barrage of 6-shooter attacks. Money Shot, down forward X, helps zone out opponents or enhance it to spray down the battlefield. Canceling your combo string into Standoff helps Aaron stay on the move. Keep the opponent guessing with continual setups and knockdowns.
Couple of bullets ought to deflate that ego.
In the Outlaw variation, Aaron Black gains a few new combo strings. His special move Sand Toss, down back B, is a great combo extender, and Tarkatan Stab, down forward Y, will damage your foe over time.
Call me.
Aaron Black has very fast overhead and low combo openers, which make him especially dangerous in the corner. Punish your opponents with caltrops and sand traps, and watch them bleed out over time. Abandon, XX back A, is a quick opener that leads into enhanced sand grenade, back forward A plus right trigger, to continue the offensive. Send a personal message with this X-ray combo. Finish the job in Sandstorm style with a hip-fire fatality.
Finish her!
Bullseye.
Aaron Black wins.
Have fun with the fastest gun in Outworld, Aaron Black. And tune in to the ESL Mortal Kombat X Pro League, presented by Xbox.
Welcome back. I am Mustard.
I'm Ketchup.
And you're watching the European ESL MKX Pro League presented by Xbox.
That's right, we're going to be going into this next match now, which is going to be Sumerian versus Rod My Taco, which should be a good match. It's done really well. As of now, you have 3 minutes to make your predictions for who you think is going to win the set. I hope you guys have been successful so far. As we mentioned earlier on, the more successful you guys are with your predictions, the higher chance you have of winning some cool stuff by the end of the night. TwitchBot should be helping you out, but for those that are unaware, it's !predict, followed by the points you'd like to spend, followed by the player you think will win the set. Everyone should have started with 10, and this is done in the Twitch chat, so make sure you're getting on that to try and win some cool stuff.
You can visit mkxconnect.com to find more information and more details on how to enter that. Today you can stand a chance to win some cool MK t-shirts, so it changes most of the weeks by the looks of things, but there's always cool stuff to be won.
Hey, there's a Scorpion Bobblehead week 1, there's copies of the
We had
game
it right
week
there.
2. We had it right there, but it's gone. Obviously the guys won it, so it's not there anymore. It was hand-painted. It was
Sad
really,
face.
We've got one though.
Hashtag sad boys.
We've got our own one. We've got our own one. It's all good.
Cool.
But both players, though, I mean, they're going to be setting up now. I mean, I don't know who Sumerian plays in Mortal Kombat X. He was using Raiden earlier on, played some Jax as well, early in the game's
We've
lifespan.
heard from numerous people that he plays against or with, or even in these leagues, that he plays a really mean Raiden and Jax as well.
Good stuff. I mean, Jax is a really strong character in this
Well, you
game.
don't see him too much in the online leagues. Jax is a character we just don't really see. We
He's
see a lot
good.
of Kung Laos.
He's good, though. He's really good.
We
More
see
people
Kung
should play
Lao,
him.
Raiden, Sub-Zero, but like, there's a lot of characters in this game, and we haven't seen yet, and I want to see them.
I mean, the game's only young. I mean, sometimes characters will take a year to develop.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
I mean,
Especially the
long-
variations.
Certain characters in the game, I mean, in Mortal Kombat 9, Sonya being such an amazing character, but how long did it take for Sonya to be fully debugged? I mean, that took about a year and a half for people to really realize how good this character was, because there's a lot of stuff in the game. There's loads of characters, especially in X with variations. I mean, you no longer have, like, you know, however many characters are in this game, like, you know, 28 or something like that. You know, there would no longer be 28 characters. There's now triple that, because there's 3 different versions of each character. I mean, that's a lot of exploration. I mean, I'm glad so many people playing this game right now and are entering these leagues, because there is so much content. I mean, single player and multiplayer.
But everything's open now. I mean, everything is open. We've now got, obviously, Jason as a downloadable character, is now completely tournament legal. Spectral Ermac and Mournful Katana have had their issues resolved, so they are now back to being allowed because of these fixes. So yeah, if you guys at home do want to enter these tournaments, we highly recommend you pick up the combat pack, because if you have the characters available to practice against, that is how you get the matchup experience. Because the worst thing to lose to is matchup knowledge if you don't have it, because you don't actually own the character.
Well, look, these characters will be tournament legal upon release. You know, I mean, you know, unless it's a tournament where they're released the day before. I mean, there's a pretty high chance that these characters will be legal basically everywhere. So if you want to play this game competitively, especially if you want to compete in these leagues, you pretty much, you know, need the combat pack. You know, you need to make sure you've got these characters ready so that you can practice against them. I mean, playing against a human opponent is one thing, but being able to go into training mode with a character and test a move and really break something down yourself because you have the character is another story.
You'll be surprised how much it does for you in terms of just general matchup knowledge, as well as just having the content, you know.
Well, the game's training mode is also very strong. I mean, the game's training mode is really good too. So, you know, it's no longer like you need a human opponent there to test stuff. You can set things to, you know, automatic block. You can set, you know, specific special moves.
You can do random block to practice hit confirming, random reversal, all that sort of stuff.
You can test basically every area of competitive play, and especially against a specific character that you could pretty much want to test with the game's practice mode. I mean, that's one of the most important part, if not the most important part of the whole game, is going into training and really testing these things that you've got in your mind and putting your theories into practicality in the form of a matchup.
So let's talk today's patch. We know that we are likely to see a Raiden. Do you think we're going to see too much of a difference in playstyle with his alterations now?
I highly doubt it. I mean, the reality is, only Raiden's damage was really affected hugely. I mean, he had a damage reduction. I mean, there was scaling on his grab, which allowed people to get more damage than they should have done. But that's been resolved now. Both players can now, you know, Raiden now gets normal damage. He still gets good damage, even meterless. He still gets the corner carry. He can still enforce these mix-ups. So as a Raiden player, I don't really feel like you've been neutered too heavily. I mean, if you're a top-level Raiden player, you know how to enforce these mix-ups. It doesn't matter how much damage you do in those mix-ups. I mean, having to do 3 mix-ups over 2 really isn't that bad. Especially if you're a competent Raiden player and you're good at really putting someone in a situation where the mix-up is very dangerous and hard to block against. You just have to work slightly harder. But if you're a competitive player, you're no stranger to hard work, especially in a game like this.
I mean, a lot of the things that we see characters nerfed with are things that a lot of players didn't really know about until just recently. I mean, like the Quan Chi nerf we saw to his summoner. He can, like, his bat will now take an extra second to respawn once you cast it. That has turned down a very powerful corner setup that he used to have. So that is no longer a thing. But you can do it in other ways, or, you know, go for lower damage. So it's a question of, you know, trying not to really take away too much tools, but still make sure that characters aren't, you know, killing you in one touch.
But it looks like we'll be going into this game right now, though. Sumerian versus Taco. This should be a good set. It looks like it's going to be Sub-Zero versus Raiden. Once again, another Grandmaster Sub-Zero. Now, the question is, how is Sumerian going to play this? I've not seen him play Raiden yet, so I'm very excited.
He is going with the tournament Raiden costume, the classic Raiden. We've not really seen this yet. Oh, the good corner setup. The Grandmaster Raiden, we call it. Just putting that orb in to just stop the opponent from advancing.
Oh, he commits into the meter burn ice ball.
That is completely safe, though. Good use of the meter burn.
Throws him into the corner. Very important stuff here. Oh, good memorization on the timing of that clone. This is going to be a full confirm. Into the corner carry, we all know.
Good meter building. Sumerian always looking at a full X-ray. Just like that, which gives him so much armor. Just go for the interrupts.
Here comes that dash cancel into a restand, into guaranteed ship damage. I mean, this is the same Raiden we see a lot. I mean, the lack of damage hasn't really hurt this character. I mean, Sumerian's still putting in the work. That lovely convert off the jump kick there. I mean, shades of Nevek. We know these guys play together all the time, so it's quite nice to see these players take each other's tech.
Cheeky sweep setup there to really potentially try and swap the wake-up attacks around. But does manage to get himself cornered for his troubles.
So Taco's reset up this corner game. Ooh, lovely double low there. The threat of the clone still so strong. Nice breakup from Sumerian. And the Internet Superman just to get himself out the corner. That was a really smart move. He has a bit of damage for it, but he has now managed to back out of the corner, but he is going gradually bit by bit straight back into it. Lovely grab from Taco there. Oh, Superman just to blow straight through whatever he was trying to do. Good delay on the projectile as well to just challenge the jump. We're seeing, oh, just get tagged by the ice ball. We've seen Sumerian with some full-on reads right here, like full screen, just like that. Oh, wow, he went straight through the clone there. But we know that the Greek players have access to Quark, who is quite a powerful Sub-Zero player. So, like, that's the thing. Like, when you play with a scene of players and you have a lot of characters covered, you can get these matchups covered. But, you know, Taco's doing incredibly well right now. I mean, really good stuff so far. A lovely read on that neutral jump punch. One of the things that you see a lot in Mortal Kombat X is a player that jumps neutrally straight in the air on prediction of the player coming in with a button press. A neutral jump punch is a really strong tool.
Really good break from Taco. That was kind of all or nothing. If he didn't break, he would be cornered. But he still finds himself cornered after that one. Oh, doesn't quite get the neutral jump punch, but Sumerian with the dropped combo doesn't quite capitalize the damage. Sumerian is still very much winning this round. Both players not with a lot of meter to sort of work with, but yeah, as we see, like Sumerian's got some nasty meterless Raiden stuff. Ah, tags him with the overhead. And just like that, from one side of the stage to the other. Oh, not quite a good read on the
double freeze. Double freeze. Oh, lovely read in the armor. I mean, both players here playing loads of armor. This will not kill, but the next setup will do. Oh, risky slide, but it pays off. This next combo could be huge. Sumerian has no breaker. Is this going to be it? That will be
wow.
good.
What a play from Taco.
Really good stuff. That in situations like that, you do not drop combos. And he didn't. And he played it through. That was really good stuff. Really good stuff.
It's just good meter awareness. He knew he had the bar to go for the EX. You can't really react to Sub-Zero's low, especially in that sort of situation. So he knew, well, if he blocks this, I'm safe. But if I hit this, I win the round. And he did just that. You know,
it was a great play. A really smart play.
He managed to nail that combo, maximize that damage, and that's what gave him the edge in the round.
I mean, I think Sumerian will probably make the adjustments here. I mean, both players played really well.
He has to at this point. Like you expect that if someone was to lose back. Again, it was a close game. It was a really close game. Let's see. Like, will he?
It's very easy to get frustrated against Grandmaster, even with the nerfs he's received. I mean, the clone it's still there. If you're cornered against the clone, you know, it's still as dangerous as ever.
It's still a static stun that's going to stay there for a few seconds, you know?
Exactly. I mean,
always a threat.
It's slightly worse now, but it's still very, very strong.
But at the same time, so is Raiden. Both these characters have received minor, I don't want to say minor, because obviously that's subjective, but changes nonetheless. We're still seeing some good play from them.
Oh, a nice read on the neutral jump punch. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get it. Doesn't quite get the capitalization, but gets caught blocking low anyway. Oh, lovely bait there. Doesn't quite get the combo punish.
Now, at this point, like when you get moves like that, you need to make sure you take away as much health as possible. But Sumerian does accidentally walk into a clone. Really good placement from Taco, really. Just making the most of this clone.
Oh, the whiff slide. That's normally a punish, but I don't think he was quite ready for it. Oh, he walks straight into the clone, unfortunately. That's going to be a double low into a good freeze. Taco doing really well right now with Sub-Zero. Oh, tagged by the Superman charge.
Looks like Sumerian's really trying to just nullify this clone, trying to take it out of the equation. He knows it's giving him issues. Does block a wake-up slide, sees it's not come. Like, that's the thing. He recognized he's delayed his wake-up. He knew a wake-up was not possible.
Now we have full combo if he doesn't get it. Here we go. And now the clone. He's going to put the clone in play. Wow, lovely.
He goes for the armored wake-up, but just doesn't have the health to take it. And that's uses the bar and still gets
one of
tagged.
the situations when you're trying to use armor and you don't have enough health to take it, you'll pretty much die anyway. Armor is really effective, but unfortunately not incredibly effective right at the end of the round, where anything will kill you regardless of whether you can take the hit or not.
Sumerian knows that Superman is blowing up clone on reaction. I think that's just something that Taco's going to have to really adjust to. Otherwise he's going to eat Supermans all day.
Gets tagged by the cheeky little sort of freeze there. Good block on the overhead. Not a great read in the armor, but unfortunately doesn't really get punished for it, because I think it's actually safe on block, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Taco is really trying to make the most of the breakers. I mean, he's got a lot of meter. He's finding himself a lot of meter. He's not really having to use it on anything aside from his EX Ices, but he's just getting tagged by max range strings from Raiden.
Oh, good overhead. Is he going to follow this one through? Lovely combo. Here comes the clone.
Right, we're seeing Sumerian is in the corner now, and this is where...
Oh, what a freeze. Such good stuff there.
And again, you know, he has so much meter. He has a breaker most of the time. Oh, he does get tagged by an ice ball. This will likely take the round for him.
I'm fairly certain one of those was... Oh, but the drop! The drop! He drops it. Is this going to be everything? Oh, he gets tagged by down 4.
Down 4 into down 4. I mean, like, when you've got tiny amounts of health, that's the sort of thing you have to really expect. Looks like Taco is one game away from advancing himself into the semis.
It's quite crazy. But we see, in these leagues, we see so many solid sets. Like, we see so many 3-0s. But you know, players, they do adapt. They come back the week after and they do really well. Sumerian by no means is out here. He's doing really well so far. I mean, again, he's in the top 8. But unfortunately, just getting tagged by a lot of clones and a lot of freezes. I mean, you know, Taco's getting some really good reads on when Sumerian's going to try and advance. He's getting some good clone reads, but more importantly, he's throwing the ice ball, and Sumerian's doing a lot of just neutral jumps into them, because as he jumps, that's when the ice ball comes out. It's a really solid read from Taco.
I don't think we're going to see him change. It looks like he's going to be sticking with Thunder God Raiden once again. I mean, again, I'm assuming Thunder God Raiden is what has got him to this point, so you wouldn't see a change. Especially like, if it's for a character like Jax, which I can see having a lot of problems with the clone. I still think Raiden is your best point. Your best chance in a set like this.
I think normally when you're in a situation where you've gotten so far with the character, you don't really want to change. You know, if you second guess your character choice, you're second guessing yourself before you even start the set. So confidence is so important.
See Sumerian with the, oh, it does unfortunately drop the combo, but he's still safe. Neutral jump to challenge, and again, Taco with the breaker, always having a breaker stocked, because he's really smart at saving it. He knows a character like Raiden that has so much damage, you need to break. You need to have it ready.
Both players being very patient right now.
Ooh, wow, he was pixels away.
Very nearly walked into that clone. Headbutts the clone, gets frozen for it. Here comes the clone once again. Oh, double overhead. This is going to be a full combo. He's not going to drop it. His execution on this combo has been so strong. And here comes another clone. Oh, he doesn't even need it. Match point Taco with that full combo.
At this point, Taco knows he's got 2 matches in a round to work with, so he is playing very patiently right now. Sumerian just with the armor charge to get out of the corner. But again, if that was blocked, that could have been a really nasty situation. But again, with just the good raw reads.
Oh, a lovely slide. One of the things about the slide, it just low profile so amazingly well. It slides under a lot of projectiles on a read. Has to be a back 3-3 into the freeze. Does it quick! The combo follow-up.
Oh, just go for the dash-in throw. Sumerian with the token neutral jump punch. Gets himself a throw. Sumerian's really
lovely slide.
Clone whiffs. And again, Taco with the breaker available. Really good use of meter right now.
Taco doing so well here. The Sub-Zero gets tagged by the string. This will be a full convert. Doesn't have the sprint available. He doesn't quite have it, but that's not a huge issue. This probably will take the round.
Now that will be a round to Sumerian. He is fighting this one back, but it's still match point to Taco.
And Taco, I mean, he's almost got a full bar. I mean, that bar is a safe confirm. I tagged him with his own neutral jump. That's the first time we've seen him contest that neutral jump with his own, and it's good mileage. Oh, here we go into the hard knockdown of the slide. Commits into the meter burn to ice because it's safe.
Sumerian with that clutch breaker that's going to save him from so much problem. Oh, decides to neutral jump straight over the clone. I swore he was going to just fall straight into that.
Oh, the instant jump 1 doesn't have the meter, so we can't confirm. But once again, on prediction, gets a really good freeze. This is a bad situation for Sumerian. Hard knockdown on the slide.
Really good use straight over, but drops the combo into throw. The useful glue, we call it.
Drop combo into throw. Oh, doesn't quite get the convert. These costly drops are so important.
That wasn't too bad of a conversion. Decides to not follow up. I think Sumerian knows that he's been going headfirst into a lot of clones.
Oh, and he tries to anti-air that neutral jump. Gets neutral jump for his troubles. Sumerian back in this.
Good block,
really good block
on the string. And that's game. Sumerian manages to bring it back. He has a game on the table. I think Sumerian has used a lot of armor interrupts at the moment with the shocker, and I think that's what Taco was waiting for, but Sumerian knew that. He knew he was waiting for it, which is what gave him the block.
When you start throwing out meter burn reversals to try and use the armor, you know, you're saying to the opponent that if you block, you're going to try and punish my move. But if I know that I'm doing loads of armor, and I know that you know
it opens up your
I'm
options.
doing loads of armor, you know, you can press more buttons afterwards. Even in a situation where they go, okay, I'm just going to try and block this next move because he's done it every time. If you now know that, you get more button presses after pressing more buttons. So it's all good.
So
really good situation.
Are we going to see a full-on 3-game comeback from Sumerian? Because he no longer has games to work with. If he loses a match, that's it. He's out. And then Taco will be moving on into your final semi-finals.
Looks like he's going to be going for Grandmaster sub again. I mean, you know, as we've said before, I mean, you acknowledge that it's not the character choice that cost the game. And he's been so solid with Sub-Zero anyway. It'd be very silly for him to change character after one loss. So, you know, both players here ready to go. Looks like it is going to be Thunder God Raiden versus Grandmaster Sub-Zero once again. We've seen Sub-Zero is quite a popular character right now.
There's a question of, like, Sumerian doing a lot of neutral jumps near clones, because he knows that he's not going to neutral jump into them. But if Taco tries to challenge after, then he is going to get hit by the neutral jump, and that's what we're seeing. Finding himself corner ready. I mean, good read on the slide, but accidentally does corner himself for it.
Oh, lovely jump kick. He knows that's going to hit. Wow, oh, close range clone just to get that freeze.
Didn't even see the clone come out. And
Taco's sitting on full bar. Good block on the overhead. Nice neutral jump punch. Opts to break to keep him in the corner. Here comes Taco. This is the corner pressure that Sub-Zero can enforce so well in this variation, but the armored uppercut to just get out of that situation. Really good read. It was going to go for it. Oh, the restand into the reset overhead. Beautiful stuff from Cimmerian. Like, he knew that combo was guaranteed as a combo, but if he got the reset into back 2, that was going to do so much more damage, which is why he needed to win. And he does block the Ice Ball in time. Doesn't quite get the trade. And this can be more corner carry. That was a full-on punish. Cimmerian is really bringing this matchup knowledge to the table now. This is the time. Tagged by the low, but doesn't do much damage. It's not a bad situation. Superman's right into that Ice Ball. This is where the majority of Cimmerian's health is going. It's just unfortunate trades on clones and Ice Balls. Like, if he slows it down, I think that's where he's going to be able to make this comeback a bit better. But again, you know, good commit into the EX Ice Ball to get the damage. Here comes Taco. Full combo. Hard knockdown for the slide. Opts to just try and do the throw, but I don't think he was actually ready for that jump to actually connect. Now against Raiden, this could be death, and he got the overhead. Double overhead. The lovely restand on the meter burn. This next up could take it. And he gets him in the low. That's going to take the whole game. He has the breaker. Oh, the jump. He was doing so well. The Hail Mary jump for the round. Cimmerian unfortunately doesn't quite get the capitalization. Taco with a really good read on the jump to just take that round back. Cimmerian, unfortunate, but here we have Sub-Zero in the corner once again. He knows he's going to press a button, and here comes the corner pressure. Good sweep, that's going to be important. Jumps himself out the corner, now has Cimmerian in the corner. Oh, that jump, he just really good Superman to avoid the clone. So Cimmerian he wants to get out of that corner as much as he can. He knows that's where his problems are coming from. Oh, he's getting some really unfortunate combo drops. Oh, unfortunately, just jump into an Ice Ball. We need to see Cimmerian playing a bit more patiently if he's going to be able to make this, this full set comeback. Oh, the double hit just chews straight through the armor. And this is now looking all Taco right now. It's going to be very hard for him to pull from back. Good neutral jump punch. Unfortunately, another combo drop. These crucial drops. Oh, this is so dangerous. Cimmerian trying so hard to make the comeback, but Taco not letting him. By no means is Cimmerian out of this. He gets a good read on the clone. He has the break, but he can't. He has no stamina. Oh, the grab's going to take the game! Oh, wow! Oh, Cimmerian with that clutch throw. He knew. He was expecting chip damage. He was expecting it. So he got hit by the throw. Raiden, you're expecting chip or you're expecting a 50-50. You are not expecting a throw. Very rarely are you expecting a throw. That was crazy. That was nuts. Blood vessel at this rate. I do that every day. This is not good for my health. I do that every day when I play online. Well, you get thrown once. It's the worst. It's the worst feeling in the world. But that was an amazing, amazing game there. I can promise you there are worse feelings in the world. They're getting thrown online. Is Cimmerian going to take... Is he going to make this 3-game comeback? He's in the way. Like, he was down match point and so little health. That round could have been it. He's keeping it together. That's the thing. He's still enforcing these mix-ups. But so is Taco. The mix-ups, but they're really important mix-ups to land. And in these crucial moments, he's getting them when he needs them. I'm just still trying to sort of get my breath back from that last round. Like, I thought round 1 was going to be it. I thought that comeback that Cimmerian was making with that clutch back 2 reset, like that was a risk. That back 2 is so unsafe. So, but in the wise words of Tom Brady, minus $1 billion. Cimmerian is looking to really start this thing off. Like, he could be 1 round for making this comeback. He does get the first hit, and he has already cornered Taco. How will Taco get out of this situation? Well, sort of Grandmaster's options out of Raiden corner pressure, really, but... Oh, lovely punish. Lovely punish on that. Use the armor to just go straight through the clone. And this will be a restand into a low. Here comes Thunder God Raiden with Cimmerian. He just blows straight through it. He knows that Sub-Zero blocking will get rid of the clone now. Really good tags him with the overhead. Oh, and he tags the wake-up slide. Cimmerian is match point. He's making a 3-game comeback right now. This is nuts. See if Taco can really keep himself together here. He has managed to take 2 games off Cimmerian and make some really clutch rounds of his own, but Cimmerian is bringing it to him right now. Lovely slide there. Lovely slide to punish that. Here comes, he's in the corner again. Opts to corner himself, but he knows that string will get him out. I knew it was coming. Lovely confirm on the hit. And again, confirms. Oh, the restand. Here comes Taco. His execution hasn't gone anywhere. He's still got it. Throw him into the corner. Punish the slot. Oh, so big. Is Cimmerian going to break? He's opting to save the bar. He's saving the bar for the final round. Smart stuff. Good block. Let him spend the meter. He's now going to go into the next round. If he loses this round. That will chip. That will chip. That was going to be chip. However, we have a 3-bar lead with Cimmerian right now. But this is your final game. This is the final round. We'll see the difference between $100 and walking away with nothing. Oh, he goes straight through the clone with that interaction. He's now going to zone Sub-Zero. A little bit of an exchange there. This will be a full combo. Clean punish on the back 4.
Forced to break again. The really good, nice meter management from Taco.
Sumerian being very careful right now. He has the health to work with. Tags him with a string. Oh, lovely jump.
That sort of instant jump to just read the counter jump.
Oh, here comes the... One more hit. He's now in the corner. He corners himself!
Oh, the clean punish again. Sumerian with the matchup knowledge. Will this be it? He gets the restand, or will he go straight for the damage? Oh, that will be
That's
it!
gonna take the game. Sumerian with the 3-game comeback.
Wow.
The Greeks want to win this. Sumerian wants to win this for the Greeks.
But can I just say, what a set by Taco. That is just the Sub-Zero play you want to see at this level of play. He was using everything. He was using everything that Sub-Zero had. He was making the most of his trades. He wasn't dropping anything. He was keeping himself together in these non-stop clutch situations. But Sumerian,
Keeping it together.
with the post-patch Thunder God Raiden, I might add.
Against post-patch Grandmaster Sub-Zero. I mean, in this situation, when you're 2 games down, and there's $100 riding on it, there's the placement points riding on it, it's so easy to get flustered and be in a bad situation. But he kept it together, and here he is. He's now going to fight Faso in the semi-finals to try and get into grand finals.
So, in this situation, we can either see Foxy Grandpa making his return to grand finals for 3 weeks running, Shuffles maybe causing the upset of the league and eliminating Foxy Grandpa before grand finals, or will we see Fasol get his rematch against either Shuffles or Foxy Grandpa, or will we see Sumerian get into grand finals to attempt the revenge for Nivek, see if he can be the first person in this league to take down Foxy Grandpa in a set, or even play against Shuffles in a surprise grand finals.
I'm very excited for what's going to be coming up.
These
very,
are 4
very
good
excited.
players playing 4 very, very different characters who have come very far. They've all bagged themselves at least $100. They've all bagged themselves a ton of placement points, but it is still all to play for. There is so much more money on the line, so much more points. You get 100 points for first place. You get 5 for getting 32nd. Like that's a big difference in points that you get. And if you can bag yourself that first place, that is a big, big, big chance at getting closer to that top 16 in Burbank.
As you can see here, guys, the point distribution. For those that are watching that may be unfamiliar, the top 5 European places over the entire league will be being sent to the Burbank finals, where there is a minimum of $50,000.
If you at home would like to input to that prize fund, please pick up the Blue Steel Sub-Zero skin on the online store, where profits from that skin will go to the $50,000 finals, where you can add to that fund. So if your favorite players are there, get that skin and support the scene, support that tournament.
We've already seen some really crazy payouts actually from the from that skin. I mean, we've seen Combo Breaker has a 10,000 pot, CEO, as far as I'm aware, has a 10,000 pot as well. I mean, and that's all through the crowdfunding through the skin. I mean, you guys at home have done such an amazing job of raising the funds for these tournaments, and you've been contributing incredibly well for these players, and for yourselves. I mean, everyone, you are more than welcome to enter all of these tournaments. If you're on the fence, I mean, this is where the ESL League comes into play. These are free to enter online tournaments. If you guys want more information on that, it's esl.gg/MKX Pro League, where you can enter yourself and play at home.
So, going into this first semi-final, you now have 3 minutes to make your predictions. Who do you think will win? Will Foxy Grandpa manage to make his 3rd week running in the grand finals? Or will Shuffles cause an upset and be able to take him down with this powerful Kotal Khan that we've seen? Who do you think will win? You have 3 minutes to make your predictions now. Best of luck to you predicting. Hopefully you can get that one step closer to the t-shirts and all those cool prizes for yourself just for watching some Mortal Kombat.
It's all good. I mean, we're going to be going into this next game now. Both players preparing for it. This will no doubt be Buzzsaw Kung Lao versus War God.
Well, this is UK versus UK. These are 2 British players. They're both consistently placed in these leagues. Shuffles is always here. Foxy, as I've said so many times before, he has won twice. He's won a ton of pre-seasons. He's won loads of Combat Cup events. Like, these guys are used to playing in these settings, in this situation. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to go.
It's going to be good. I mean, Foxy's familiar with the matchup. He knows how to fight this character. I don't know how often Shuffles has fought Kung Lao, but I do know that Foxy is familiar at fighting Kotal Khan. So I feel like matchup knowledge, especially this early on in the game's lifespan, matchup knowledge is always going to be apparent. I mean, there's always the chance that a player will have less matchup knowledge against a character. There's always the chance that the player will have less matchup knowledge against a player even. I mean, just because you have matchup knowledge against a character doesn't mean that you know how to fight the player. People play characters entirely differently, even if they're, you could have 10 people playing the same character, and there will be tendencies and differences between them. In these tournament sets, adaptation is very, very important.
Again, especially with the variation system, that was going to open up a lot of opportunity for that.
Absolutely. I mean, Shuffles is this is the furthest he's made it in any of these tournaments. You know, I'm really proud of him for getting further here, taking out Mitsuones, who was the last week's grand finalist with a Scorpion, really strong Scorpion.
It goes to show you what consistency will do. If you want to get that constant practice, remember these tournaments are open to anybody. They play through on Sunday through until top 16, where you will see the top 16 played on Wednesday, just like now. So, you know, you at home, you could be in next week's top 16. All you have to do is register at esl.gg/MKX Pro League. They are open on Xbox One, and you can start a chance to win a ton of money if you are successful. So if you're watching these guys playing and you think you can take them out, sign up, register, and, you know, prove it. That's what we want to see.
I mean, that's what these leagues have done so far, is give new blood, players that haven't really had the chance to compete so far, really make a name for themselves. I mean, Sonic Fox, you know, currently the most dominant player in the world for NetherRealm Games. I mean, this guy was a Evolution champion for Injustice and Mortal Kombat 9. He won the very first tournament with the Fatal 8, and he started as an online player. You know, he still plays online so consistently, but Sonic Fox started as an online player in competitions just like this. So if you guys at home, you know, you could be the next Sonic Fox by just entering these tournaments and leveling up. I mean, it's not easy because the kid's really good, but you know,
yeah, being good at the game helps winning the game, I should imagine.
But the important thing is that these tournaments are available to you, you know, and everyone is welcome to enter them. Going into this match, though, I think both players are ready to go. Actually, not quite. They're going to be setting up their match. Foxy's picked Scorpion, and there's no way he's playing Scorpion in this tournament.
A surprise pick. Foxy Grandpa has gone with a character we've never seen him play before.
It's going to be good.
Of course not. It'll be Buzzsaw Kung Lao. He's just going to chuck low hats and hope for the best.
And spin a lot. He'll do loads of spins. I mean, the thing you guys will see so often with the Buzzsaw Kung Lao is counter poking with the meter burn spin. It's so crucial. But
Kurtle Khan could do that.
I was about to say, Kurtle Khan can do the same thing. So it'll be a game of counter poking. I mean, if armor meets armor, you know, Kung Lao will win because the meter burn spin hits so rapidly.
Hits, yeah.
So if armor meets, not eats. I mean, that is still a term. But if armor collides with armor, then the meter burn spin will be successful because of how rapidly that move hits together. But, you know, Shuffles has done so well so far. I mean, you know, taking out Mitsuones. I mean, this guy has mix-ups. He's got good punishes. He knows how to play his character. And Foxy knows how to play his character. So it should be a really good set.
Well, if you at home are enjoying this show, obviously there will be the North American Top 16 shortly after we finish with Europe. Please make sure you are following the stream on Twitch, as well as following ESL Mortal Kombat on Facebook and Twitter for all updates on the league as it goes. And please do follow NetherRealm on Twitter and on Facebook as well, the Mortal Kombat page. Because, yeah, they're doing a lot for this community. I mean, the Mortal Kombat community is not used to this sort of treatment. Like, this sort of prize payout, this sort of competition, this sort of, you know, corporate backing that we're seeing that is proving so fruitful for us right now. Like, we're not used to this, but we're really embracing it, and we're seeing players getting the exposure they have deserved for a long time through this sort of thing.
Players have played Mortal Kombat. I mean, so many of us have played purely through the love of the game alone. I mean, even us as players, you know, in the UK, there's never been big prize payouts for Mortal Kombat.
You've done it because you enjoyed the game, you like the competition, you love the game. That is why.
And it was to surround yourself in other players for the game that have just as much enthusiasm for this product as you do. And here we are now with the backing that the developers and the publishers are really giving this title. And it's so good for everybody because so many people are playing this game right now. It's such a huge game. But you know, NetherRealm care about their players, and they care about the people that make their game. You know, they show this game off. They show why it's worth buying. And you know, here we are now with ESL Pro League. You know, weekly tournaments of $1,000. And we have these players that are really showing what this game can do on a competitive level. Both players are going to be ready to go now, I feel.
The future's looking bright. Here we go. Future's looking good for Mortal Kombat X. But going into the match, as expected, we have War God Kurtle Khan with Shuffles versus Buzzsaw Kung Lao with a Foxy Grandpa. Will we be able to see this aggressive, non-stop, relentless Buzzsaw play be shut down?
A lovely check on that low hat. Lovely check.
Though somehow Foxy is sitting at a full bar of meter. I'm not quite sure how that happened.
It's the meter build. It's the meter build. You know, Foxy got that all-important first hit, but then he's also building meter constantly because of this. No anti-air there. I think he's reluctant to go for it.
The thing is, Kurtle Khan has amazing jump-ins. Like, it's going to trade, it's going to give him massive range, but Shuffles is really just bringing the aggression to him right now.
Oh, no hit confirm. That's going to be a full combo. Hard knockdown. Here comes the meter burn hat. There's no reason not going for it. Double overhead. Double low. I mean, that's the thing. The meter burn hat is so active on the floor. As you're standing, you actually have to wake up, block low. You have to block low and wake up.
Well, you see it grinding on the ground. You want to like delay wake up. You want to see it go over you, but it just won't do that. It will pick you up off the ground. Some moves have interesting properties that do that.
Lovely full combo there, 35%. Here comes another setup. Ah, lovely trade there. I mean, that's a good trade for Foxy. It's a trade in his favor. I mean, both players are down in meter, but look at the life lead. Speaking of that, Shuffle is doing a nice job of baiting the spin and chips that health away. Now he is sitting at more life than Foxy.
Really good punish on the meter burn spin. Foxy now sitting with no meter.
Oh, double low. Good mix-ups there. Lovely armor. Unfortunately, he gets tagged and shoots straight through it and answered with his own armor.
Oh, no quite punish on the other head, but a good block from Foxy Grandpa. No convert though. Will Shuffles be able to make this round? Oh, he does manage to make the grab whiff, but that will be it. Foxy will take game 1 on the teleport mix-ups.
You hate to lose, even though the punish sort of presented itself to you. I mean, a lot of people don't really know this because you don't see it very often, but the the teleport that Kung Lao has, the overhead hat slice
is
where he
fully
hits
punishable.
over. It's fully punishable,
Especially
on block.
by Kotal Khan.
But
I mean, it's matchup knowledge.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, Kotal Khan, normally he's got really good buttons and his down 1 is very fast. But right at the end there, we saw Shuffles normally does a lot of down 1s on block into a button press, which is still quite significantly minus. I think Foxy really acknowledged that Shuffles likes to press down 1 into stuff. He blocked the down 1 and then went straight into a standing string, knowing that Shuffles was going to press a button.
But we also saw good use again of the crouching pokes. Down 4 on hit guarantees a run into a string. We saw him do just that, and it caught Shuffles pressing buttons. That's the sort of footsies that you will see at this level, where it's looking for those pokes, seeing them hit, and going in for the follow-up, which for a character like Kung Lao is going to give him like a multitude of options to kill you with.
Going into the next game though, Shuffles will be sticking with War God. I think he tries to do meter burn armor, but unfortunately doesn't quite get the move he wants.
Does he a full jump in for it, but he manages to corner Kung Lao. Will Shuffles be able to keep him here is the real question.
Foxy's sitting on a bar of meter, so the meter burn spin. You're always reluctant to press buttons because that meter burn spin is just so threatening. Oh, lovely low there. Nice mix-ups. Here comes the low hat. Oh, good blocks from Shuffles. Ah, tag down 1 on block again, once again. Unfortunately, Shuffles losing the bar too. I mean, that's quite costly bar to lose in that situation.
Foxy is he is spacing everything exactly the way he needs to right now. Everything is just whiffing just out of the range. But at this point, Shuffles, like, if he sees Foxy doing that, he's just got to take a little step forward.
Here comes the jailing from the throw, putting him in the corner. This is where Foxy wants Kotal Khan to be. And again, you just can't jump in against Kung Lao when he's got bar. I mean, it's a quite an important break there. He had to try and fight out of the corner, but unfortunately, there's nothing worse than breaking in the corner and then getting tagged by the same thing.
Because you have no sprint. You have no stamina left after you've broken against the character like Kung Lao. He's got meter to burn.
Oh, low hat stuff is so crazy. Foxy is going to be 2-0 up already.
No, he's looking at 1 game away from making grand finals for the 3rd week in a row.
I'd really want someone to bring it to Foxy so far. I mean, he's been a very dominant player so far. There's a lot of 3-0s in the tournament, in the sets that he plays. There's been shade. I mean, the Nivek set was really good. We saw Nivek with a really, really dominant game against him in the first time they played.
If he manages to make his way to grand finals, if Sumerian manages to beat Fasol, will he be able to get revenge for his training partner?
Revenge for the Greek guys.
That's a matchup I want to see. Obviously, no disrespect to Fasol. I'm sure he is more than capable of winning that set against Sumerian. Like, he is a fantastic player. He wouldn't be here so consistently if he wasn't. But that's a matchup that I want to see. I want to see Sumerian versus Foxy because I want to see how that will handle. Because, like, the only player we've seen take games of Foxy in this entire league has been Nivek. And Sumerian is Nivek's training partner. I want to see that matchup in grand finals.
Seeing as they both play Raiden too. I mean, they both play Raiden. They're going into the next match now. This will be War God Kotal. I mean, by no means, Shuffles isn't out here. It's just, this is looking like a real upward battle for him. Oh, lovely check there. The meter burn, just to confirm. This will be hard knockdown into a low hat. Here comes a mix-up. He can't really armor through, and the double low hat.
Just the 2 hats. Again, Foxy just putting hats all over the screen. Greedy with the hats.
Oh, meter burn spin. Knowing he's going to press the down 1.
Again, Shuffles just like that. I mean, it's barely been 20 seconds, and this amount of health is just going. Kung Lao is a nightmare. He will chip you down until you are dead.
Oh, he tries to punish, doesn't quite get it, but just going to check in with the range on the down 2. Here comes a throw. I mean, he does the empty jump into grab.
Match point. Foxy Grandpa, he is looking for his triple grand final placement.
Shuffles really need to sort of keep it together, but it's looking hard for him. Nice, good there. Good meter burn toss, but unfortunately he's now out of meter, so he can't really fight out of any of this low hat mix-up.
Jails on the jumps, the block jump into act, just to make sure that grab is going to have a really high chance at working. First time we've seen him land that in this set. See if he'll go back to it anymore, but will he need to? Like, his grounded game right now. I mean, normally the ground is where, like I've said before, Kotal Khan controls the ground, but not against low hat. The low hat, the single move, just makes this just a complete mess on the floor. Nice mix up there. I mean, that's really good stuff. Here comes Foxy. Again, Shuffles no meter to confirm, so it's looking quite bad for him right now, but by no means, he jumps in! He's looking at chip territory here. Oh, this will be it. There's nothing he can do in that situation.
Foxy moves on into grand finals once again.
Yeah, Foxy manages to make grand finals for 3 weeks running. Will he make $1,500 through playing Mortal Kombat for 3 weeks?
He's made more than that. I mean, he's won 2 of the Mortal Kombat Cups in the UK. So he's already won. He's already won money through that too. This guy's doing pretty well for himself right now. I mean, as far as I'm aware, he's also trying to go to DreamHack. Foxy's trying to get to DreamHack.
No, he's trying to get himself around. Again, it's making the most of the prizes that present themselves. But well played to Shuffles. Massive congratulations on getting this far. This is a record for him. This is the first time I've seen him in the semi. So congratulations on your $100 and your 50 placement points. They are well earned. But moving into the second semi-final, we have Fasol versus Sumerian. Again, Fasol, a player we see so frequently in this top 16 league, and Sumerian, another player that makes his way here often, but he's never made it this far with this league. We know with the actual broadcast 3 weeks we've had. This is the first time I've seen him this far, and he's doing well for himself.
I mean, this is a good tournament so far because we've seen so many players that have got further today than they have ever got. I mean, this is the furthest, well, it's not the furthest Sumerian has got because he's been in grand finals in the ESL preseason, but for the actual season,
the actual season,
this is the furthest. This is the furthest that Shuffles has got. Fasol's gotten really far again. You know, this is the furthest that Sumerian has made it, and I'm really proud of these players that they're coming back every week, and they're consistently bringing it, and they're doing really well for themselves. And this week's been quite evident. I mean, you can only hope that next week they bring it even harder. I mean, Foxy's been on a hell of a tear right now. I'd love it if someone could finally dethrone this guy.
It might happen. This could be the week. I mean, Fasol's put a lot of homework in. Sumerian trains with the guy that's taken games off him in this tournament. And obviously, you know, Sumerian has showed us he is no stranger to making clutch comebacks. I mean, he was playing against a Grandmaster Sub-Zero. Like, you know, Taco was making perfect use of those ice balls, those clones, but he managed to make it back.
A 3-game comeback is not easy to make in tournament, especially top 8.
I mean, like I said before, even though Raiden, after this buff, after this change, even after this patch, has received a nerf to basically all of his old B&B combos that he used to do involving the enhanced shocker, he now is using those same combos. So everything he's doing is doing like 20 to 30% damage, but he's still managing to make those reads and those comebacks because his tools are still there.
Going into this next match, though, we have obviously Fasol versus Sumerian. You have 3 minutes as of now to make your predictions. As always, we do hope you guys have been successful with your predictions so far. This is done by !predict, followed by the points you'd like to spend, followed by the player you think will win the set. This is done in Twitch chat. Hopefully the Twitch bot there is giving you guys some hints and tips. But anyway, it's all through prediction. Who do you think is going to win? And the more successful you are, the higher chance you have of winning some cool stuff by the end of the night.
Do visit MKX Connect as well if you want to have any more information and sort of detailed explanations of how to do this prediction system, because it will run through every week. There'll always be cool stuff to win. We've seen Scorpion bobbleheads, we've seen copies of the game, we've now got t-shirts. Like, it changes, so it's always really exciting. I hope you guys are winning it, because it's cool stuff.
We are excuse me, sorry, frog in my throat. We are coming by the end of the night now. I mean, these are the final matches. I mean, the winner of this match will be moving into grand finals. This is the deciding factor between potentially $100 or $300 or even $500 if whoever moves on to this grand finals wins the tournament.
As well as the league points. I mean, we saw before that Foxy has himself 200 league points through his 2 wins. Will this give him 300, or will someone be able to get those from him? Because even if he manages to get second place, he's still getting 75. But the longer the leagues go on, the bigger this difference is going to make, really. I mean, like, even a few points here and there. Like we saw before, Mr. Aquari is currently our top 5 placer. He is on the edge right now. The player under him is 5 points under him. That is a top 32 placing is 5 points. So every week you're going to see that top 5 change. Just because of just like slight different changes. You know?
Especially seeing as these players now being consistent, but it's the same players that are cropping up, and they're getting higher in weeks, they're getting lower in weeks. I mean, they're constantly bobbing back and forth, and these points will make a difference. But this late on in the tournament, this is when the actual, you know, the money is one thing, but this late on in the tournament, this is where the qualifying points really matter. I mean, these are significant differences, and by the end of this league, if we reach a point where there's like a 10-point difference between players, that would be like 1 placement. If you just placed that 1 step higher
in that one
tournament, you would be one of the 5 European players getting sent to California for this top 16 finals. You know, where it will be the best players in the world coming together, playing against each other for big money, minimum $50,000.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
minimum.
You hear us say often in these, you know, this is the difference between nothing and $100, $200 and $300. Imagine if it's difference between $500 and $50,000. That's the situation you can find yourself in if you take part and consistently place.
If you're one of the 5 players, I mean, who doesn't want to be one of the top 5 players? Or in any of these leagues, either 3 of them, who doesn't want to be one of those top players that get sent to that finals? I mean, you want to represent where you're from as well. You want to represent Europe. You want to represent North America. You want to be one of those players that has been selected out of 5 people in the entire world, you know, in your part of the world that's been selected for it. I mean, I'd want to, you know, and the money's nice too.
Well, if you're a competitor, that's what you do it for. You do it for the competition, you do it for the game, you do it for the community. But now you've obviously got that massive cash prize to help sort of incentive that as well. I mean, I'm assuming all of you are watching because you like Mortal Kombat, because you're a fan of the game. That's why it's on the NetherRealm Twitch, and that's why you're watching it. So that's why we're watching these players really show what they've got through practice and through what playing competitive fighting games will be able to give you.
We do see a lot of similar characters. We see a lot of Raidens, we see a lot of Sub-Zeros. I mean, Kung Lao has been very popular in this tournament. I mean, it's kind of strange. In a lot of like North American tournaments or just American tournaments in general, we don't really see much Kung Lao in action. But for some reason, these European tournaments, we see Kung Lao all the time. So I think there's it's quite interesting just who plays what character on different parts of the world. I mean, it's always been that way. I mean, during the days of I can't even remember what the characters were, but I remember during the days of MK9, it was quite similar. I mean, certain parts of the world just for some reason favoured specific characters. I mean, as the game progresses, it becomes more well-rounded because people establish what characters they want to play. But here on in the tournament, I mean, you know, the diversity is there, just selectively, I find.
Well, I mean, NA's got on Blacks. NA has a lot of Quan Chi players as well.
Very good.
NA has Bread and a very powerful Ermac player. We see shuffles in the EU. I mean, I've seen plenty of Ermac players in the CIS, but obviously CIS has Belial with a very powerful Kurtal Khan who is consistently winning.
He's been very well. I mean, he's basically the Foxy of Russia at the moment. I mean, this guy's doing consistently well with Kurtal Khan. He does some really cool stuff as well, like, you know, things like doing the ground pound attack, which a lot of people don't know. You can actually cancel it. Belial will do a lot of cool stuff, like
cancels it to bait a jump, in which he then anti-airs, or he then commits to it. Like, it's all a mix-up. But other than that, he can go overhead low, like, he knows the character. But that's the sort of character loyalty that we see that really carries these players through these online leagues. Especially if you're going to be one of those top 16 players. You're going to have a lot of understanding of what your character is capable of.
There's a lot of characters in the game, but more importantly, there's a lot of variations in the game too. Especially with the combat pack, which will be introducing more characters. I mean, if you're a competitive player, we do highly recommend picking up the combat pack. I mean, if you're going to play this game seriously, you need to be able to go into training with every single character in the game. And if you simply don't own those characters, you will pretty much be at a disadvantage. So, obviously, Jason's just been released. Jason's a very strong character anyway. He's been doing really well. Some interesting variations behind him, but the next character I do believe is Tanya, coming soon. I mean, I'm really excited for Tanya because we haven't seen her in a very long time. I'm aware we haven't seen her since Armageddon, I believe, as a playable character.
But everyone was in Armageddon, so does it really count?
Yeah, of course it does. I mean, that Armageddon came out quite a while ago.
It did.
I mean, I was really excited.
Remember the creative fatality?
I loved that.
What was yours? What was your creative fatality?
I think it involved pulling out, because I played a Sector, pulling out 2 swords. And
I'm sure that's a
cool.
massive surprise.
It was cool. I mean, yeah, I know, right? But it was really cool. But I can't remember the configuration. There was a lot of options in that game.
The buttons. I know you could pull out a sword. You can cut off both arms and then the head.
It depended on the character.
And then it ended up being one of Kitana's fatalities in Mortal Kombat 9.
I think that was really cool. I like that. I mean, there's a lot of inspiration behind these games. But more importantly, yeah, so Tanya will become playable very, very soon. I hope that she's a very, very, really solid character. Because, I mean, every character in this game so far, I can't pin a character in this game as unviable, you know. A lot of
people
times
argued it was Shinnok and then they buffed him.
It wasn't. Shinnok was good. Shinnok was good without the buffs they gave him.
Yeah, the thing is, like, he was not a phenomenal character, but I always felt like he was capable. I mean, I just like the character. I personally have a lot of success with him, with the people that we play with. I mean, we train with Foxy all the time, use for Glue Omega, European guys, like, we practice quite a lot, and I had a lot of success with Shinnok, and these guys knew the matchup. But now he's been buffed. Like, he is now unarguably a viable character. Like, you cannot dispute that he is a good character now. But that's it. Like, we've gone from having one character people thought was quite bad to now, yeah, everyone can compete.
I mean, that one strong variation for each character. You know, for the longest time, you know, people pin variations as unviable, but then in, you know, 6 months' time, there could just be a discovery made that makes that character really strong. That happens in fighting games all the time. As we mentioned before, you know, it can take a while for certain characters to be fully developed, and especially in a game like X, where there's 3 variations of each character. I mean, that almost triples the time it might take to find potential in a character, because there's a lot more to look into. But that's what's really good on a competitive front, is that this game has so much content if you take it to that next level.
We'll be playing this game for a while, I should imagine. Like, we're not going to have our social lives back for quite some time.
It's going to be good, though. It's going to be good. Looking forward to it. I mean, there's a lot of preparation. I mean, we've been looking forward to this game for a very long time, since it was very first announced.
As I'm sure many of you guys watching will be the same. You know, like, you like the franchise, you follow it, and that's why you're here, you know?
But I mean, going into this next match, we've seen Fasol play many times. I mean, we've seen him play so many times with Kung Lao. We know he does actually play Kitana as well.
He just doesn't seem to favour it.
He just doesn't seem to favour it. I think in these kind of leagues where you're fighting a lot of different players, Kung Lao is a very strong character at taking on new people, like, game after game. He has a very strong style, but there's a lot to that character. And it's also one of those characters where, if you know the matchup, it still won't help you massively. Even if you know the Kung Lao matchup, he still has all these crazy things that he can just blow you up with. regardless of whether you know how to fight it or not. He's got a good edge.
Then, you know,
good edge.
Katana received a buff in this patch. She now has her pretty kick has come back from Mortal Kombat 9. So she now has a very powerful low attack. Combine that with her air flutter, which sort of stuns her in the air. You have some really crazy sort of mix-ups going on with her neutral jump punch and now the pretty kick. So in certain variations, she gets some really good damage through that and some really good mix-ups. I mean, another crazy Dominican senior over in America, one of the famous CD brothers, has managed to really do well with Katana. Again, in their group of players they play, people consider Katana quite weak, but he says this character's good because I do really well with her. Sometimes, but it won't be until we see these major tournaments that we see these characters really compete and show what they can do.
Well, we know that Katana Prime. One of the American Katana players also says that she's very strong.
And he does well in the ESL leagues.
I was about to say, yeah, he consistently makes top 16 in these leagues with Katana, which is a character that everyone says is bad. But here's a guy making
not everyone, some people.
Most people say is bad. I hear it a lot. But then you have people making consistent top 16 placements. Even when people said Chinook was bad, you had Bugman making top 16s too. It happens. I mean, sometimes all it takes is one person, or sometimes all it takes is one player to really figure a character out. And then kind of just pave the way for the rest, I guess.
Just like we've said before, we are still relatively early days in these online leagues. We're not even halfway through. So we have... Yeah, I hope we see some players we haven't seen, picking characters we haven't seen, so the diversity is really there. Because that's what we want to see, more than anything right now.
Well, there's plenty of characters in this game. Plenty of characters. And as I said, you get certain areas, certain parts of the world that favour each character. But a lot of the time, characters take a long time to debunk. I mean, in Mortal Kombat 9, as I mentioned earlier, Sonya Blade, one of the undeniable best characters in the game, definitely top 5, took a while to really figure out. And as I just said, this is a game with like 3 variations of each character. And it's expanding. Combat Pack is introducing new characters. New characters are coming out all the time. We've just seen Jason. And there is a lot of potential there. I mean, even like, with Quan Chi, for example, people say that Summoner although Summoner is the clear-cut best variation in the game, Sorcerer has some incredible stuff. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Sorcerer, and it's an underexplored character in that variation, but is actually very strong, and in my opinion, could actually become probably Quan Chi's strongest variation. If Summoner continues to receive changes, or even if people start to sort of like learn the matchup a bit stronger in Summoner, Sorcerer could very well become his best variation, and that's just through like a month of experimentation. Some fine games are played for years and years, and just think about how different the game will be in a year's time. It really excites me as a competitive player.
I mean, I hope we see, like I said before, I mean, it will take time for these characters to be explored, for these characters to be picked. But for today, it looks like we are going to be seeing Sumerian with Thunder God Raiden. And I would assume that Fasol is going to go with Kung Lao again. It looks like they are very nearly ready to go. So thank you very much for being patient with us, ladies and gentlemen.
We do apologise for the delay. We've just been preparing the next match for you guys.
Well, I do hope you are correct in your predictions. As I said before, there are plenty of t-shirts to be won as well. For some crazy, prediction giveaway merchandise that we've been doing over the weeks. But I think this one's going to be quite hard to call. I know I say that a lot, but this one will be difficult because both of these players have had tremendous success through this online league.
A lot of the time we say it will be hard to call, and then it's a 3-0 set.
We should stop saying it then, really.
So we keep saying it, and I think we're cursing some of the players. I think we should just say the match will be good and leave it there.
I would take credit, but I won't, so we should move on.
Alright, so we've got the players coming up next. I think they are ready to go now. I no doubt I think we'll see Raiden versus Kung Lao. I mean, I've not seen Sumerian fight Kung Lao before, so this should be quite interesting.
It's like I said before, I mean, I think Sumerian would have a better chance at taking down Foxy at this point. I don't mean that as a disrespect to Fasol, he is a great player, but we have seen Foxy beat him in 2 mirror matches at this point, so it's a matchup that we know that Foxy very much understands. However, Thunder God Raiden has that raw mix-up potential, and again, like I've said before, Sumerian's training partner is Nivek, who is the only person to take games of Foxy in this entire online league.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, it does look like both players are ready to go. It is indeed going to be Buzzsaw Kung Lao versus Thunder God Raiden. Matchup we definitely thought we were going to see. But as you mentioned, I mean, like, no disrespect to Faso, I mean, I just want to see how Sumerian handles Foxy. It's going to be, I mean, if Sumerian wins the set, it's going to be Kung Lao into another Kung Lao.
But if Fasol wins, we might see a rematch. And if Fasol causes the upset in beating Foxy Grandpa, what a statement to go into week 4 will he make by doing that?
Alright, so both players, again, here comes the full screen low hat stuff once again. I mean, the further away you are from the corner, the longer it takes for that low hat to really come back. But a lovely meter burn spin. Let's see what happens here. Again, as you mentioned, because the low hat did whiff, it took a while for it to come back onto his head.
Spin with the hit confirm. Doesn't. Oh, it does manage to drop the combo, but will he get a punish? How much will he get from this? 1 bar used for the shocker.
He catches the string, restands, doesn't quite finish the combo, but he does do good damage without it. Double overhead into low. Really good stuff there from Faso. Oh, the trade. How about that? Interesting trade there. I mean, they were two very different. Oh, and the corner carry. Just like that, Sumerian is looking to really take this one. Oh, really good projectile from Vasol. You use that medium projectile. I think they're just going to try and jump over the low hat as it will catch them on the way up. Oh, lovely jump back dive kick just to beat any kind of poke without having to spend the bar on the me-burn spin. Unfortunately, he is within chippable life now, so a comeback is going to be very hard. Yeah, and he spends the bar just to guarantee that round. I like Fasol with the matchup knowledge. He knows that if Raiden commits to that double sort of thunder string, that you can jump out of the follow-up. And a good read on the projectile to get that throw. Here comes him in the corner. Sumerian is on full bar, but again, the lovely counter poke. That's one of the things that Kung Lao does so well, is just counter poking you all the time, telling you that it is not your turn to press a button. Sumerian with these these costly combo drops are really losing him a lot of damage, which could be bringing these rounds to his favor. Like at this point, you need to see much tighter execution. Fasol doing that constant run just to push him into the corner if he can. But obviously when, oh, lovely neutral jump there just to catch the jump kick. Okay, just managed to confirm from the string. Just like that. I mean, only 10% damage, but the corner carry was what he needed. And that's what he got. And he does get the full crossover. How much damage will he convert this into? Will Fasol break or will he just take it? Doesn't quite get the cancel he was after, but it does punish the dive kick. That is going to be a full punish, but he does break it. Neither player with a lot of stamina right now. It's taken a long time to generate. Oh, and the trade on the neutral jump. Oh, interesting wake-up teleport there, but Sumerian still in this. Looks like Fasol jumping on prediction of the stream being finished. Sumerian knew that he jumped with it. Oh, lovely neutral jump punch, but he does get the costly drop. But he gets it anyway. Oh, that was almost a disastrous drop, but he does pull it back.
I think combo drop into armor is like the ultimate mind game. Like the opponent wants to press buttons to punish you for your drop, but the armor will chew it up. Sumerian knew that. It's the way just instantly keeping composed.
Oh, lovely convert. He's going to leave this into the restand. Good block there, blocking the mid there. This will restand once again. Doesn't quite get the combo.
I think he predicted the block. I think Sumerian is just trying to build meter right now so he can be brave with the armor interrupts, but a good punish on the EX spin. Clean punish on that string.
Oh, wow, that risky dive kick, but he gets a good payout there. This will be a full combo into corner carry. Here we go, what's next? Oh, it just tags that neutral jump. Lovely wake up.
Does manage to convert off it.
Oh, good stuff. Is this going to cost it? He's going to break. Good break. Has to break in that situation. Oh, the meter build. Here comes Fasol. He's back in. Fasol back in here. That whiff was important, and that is actually going to take game one.
Wow, it's like Sumerian with the delayed wake up, really trying to just wait for a move he could stand up and whiff punish, but he still didn't press buttons because he was worried about the spin. Even if the spin's not meter burned, it will still trade if done at neutral. Like, it's still a threat if it's not meter burned.
He's challenging the strings.
Well, if you don't have armor, the spin is still a threat as if, you know, it was meter burned. Because if you can't armor through it, and he's got the spin, that's still something that you've got to really respect. But, you know, he waited for it, he played patiently, he didn't let it get to him, and he has managed to take game one. Will we see Fasol stick with Kung Lao?
I think so. I don't think that was the fault of Kung Lao. I mean, I think Fasol will acknowledge that. Played really well. I mean, I do highly doubt he's not going to go Kung Lao again. I mean, like, as we mentioned, when these sets happen and you know that it's not the fault of the character and it's the fault of your own, or, you know, maybe that read you didn't make, or maybe that read you should have made, you know, that the character has nothing to do with a situation like that. So it's very much about just kind of pulling it through.
But Fasol's no stranger to the situation. Like, he's been here week after week. He's been in countless tournaments through these years that we've been playing with him. So this is just one game down. He's got the time to bring this back and make himself this grand finalist today.
There we go. So again, full screen. Just getting some full screen presence there on the go.
Good read on the jump by Sumerian. Doesn't quite get the anti-air from Fasol. You say he went for it, but not quite enough. Really making the most of this hat not being on Kung Lao's head. Really making sure that he's going in when it's not there. It's one really good armored just challenge from Sumerian, but he did unfortunately drop the combo, costing himself quite a lot of damage. Fasol just bit by bit fighting his way out of the corner where he doesn't want to be, but Sumerian's put him straight back in again.
Here comes that corner pressure once again. It's one of those situations where the matchup knowledge of understanding that there is no hat on his head. Tries to convert, doesn't quite get it. And Fasol fighting his way out of the corner. Now Raiden's in the corner. Fasol on full bar. Oh, lovely neutral jump. And he's not going to break. He's going to opt to save the meter.
Sumerian just getting so much mileage out of that neutral jump right now. Just really just putting on a clinic of neutral jump.
Here comes this corner combo. This will be a hard knockdown. Unfortunately, does not get the combo he wanted. Oh, really good stuff there. That hat, just the hitbox on the jump is incredibly good.
No quite with punish from Fasol there.
Full combo punish.
Ooh, Fasol with a punish. Something I'm noticing Fasol is doing quite often is if he has a breaker, he will make those raw reads on those
restand,
the dive kicks, just to get that threat out of there.
Really good reset. I think Fasol did try and armor. Speaking of armor, Sumerian answering back with his own armor there. Really good stuff. Has to break in that situation, otherwise it will cost him the game. Tries to punish the teleport, but doesn't quite get it. This next setup is massive. Oh, and he commits into the overhead. I mean, I respect the attempt. I really respect the attempt there. You know, you can tell he really wanted to go in for the. Overhead. I think that was all or nothing. If the overhead lands, he saves himself and he's taken the round.
Well, if you're playing a character like Kung Lao that has that raw counter poke, that ability to just hit that button. Again, if Kung Lao is down on life, that in itself is going to become something against him, because when Sumerian's got all that health to work with, he is not pressing buttons. He has no reason to try and press buttons there. So if the spin came like it did, there was no reason for him to hit buttons, which is why it worked.
I mean, as I said, though, I do respect the attempt. I mean,
yeah, of course. You have to go
you
for
bet it all.
Kung Lao.
Sometimes you'll be in a situation where you bet it all.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, basically. I mean, in that situation, if he got the overhead, he won. But if it was blocked, then he lost the game. But he was going to lose the game anyway. You know, in that situation, he was chippable. Sumerian had armor. Sumerian had, you know, means to win without
There's
that.
only so patient you can play when your life bar is that low.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes, you know, a comeback is not a player sitting full screen the whole game. A comeback is made from a player being aggressive and dedicating to just gut reads. That's how comebacks are generally made. You know, players, they realize they have to go all or nothing. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Players are going into the next game now. It doesn't look we're still going to have Kung Lao versus
We're going to be
Thunder
one
Raiden.
match away from seeing a UK versus Greece final once again.
Once again. Against Raiden versus Kung Lao once again, but a different Greek player. How about that?
Yeah, you might surprise us in the final if he gets there. I mean, you know, Fasol can make this comeback. Sumerian did it before. Fasol can do it. We've just got to see. I mean, no hat, so he hasn't. But it came back, drew back mid block string. And again, whenever Fasol has that dive kick, I see him going. Whenever he's got a breaker, sorry, I see him going to that dive kick quite often.
Both players feeling each other out a little bit right now. Low hat once again, jumping back. I'm not sure he's actually predicting something there. Oh, nice. I think sometimes though, when you press a button after low hat, you're telling the Kung Lao player, I press buttons. So it kind of maybe almost in that regard baits him into doing a meat bend spin. Like right there, you can tell he's waiting for something. But that will be a full combo.
How much damage will Sumerian be able to bag off this?
Oh, lovely combo into the 40% restand, into more pressure and meter
He's trying to
build.
build bar, I think. He's just trying to go for it.
That's going to be a full combo. Doesn't quite get it again. Sumerian with these drops, but it really doesn't look that important right now. That's going to be a full trade once again. Oh, again with a costly combo drop.
And again, Fasol keeping himself composed. He still knows he can do that against the string. The matchup knowledge is showing at the moment. Can he make this round come back?
He has no bar. This will chip, but not quite.
Wow.
Match point, Sumerian. Sumerian's one round away from being your second grand finalist.
Round 2.
That'd be the difference between 75 placement points and 50.
And these will add up over the end of the league. Fasol trying to play this sort of slightly zony game right now.
It takes so long for the hat to come back if you throw that standard hat, though. I mean, like, you have to be very careful when you chuck that out, and the good read.
Fasol not really going for many meat burn spins anymore.
Well, the thing is, it's been costing him so much health. It's a matter of just, you know, questioning, is it worth it? Sit with no bar. This is a bad place for Kung Lao to be. No meter in the corner against Thunder God Raiden.
The combo will not kill, but this next setup will take it. Sumerian swiftly in that round will be your second grand
celebratory. Whatever it is. Nivek did that as well. Was that a Greek thing? Is that like a Greek celebration?
They like to shock themselves. How about that? I mean, they like it. It's good. That was really strong, though. I mean, that round at the end. I mean, it's the restand from the lightning ball that is so strong.
Well, in that situation, like, that is a nightmare situation to get out of. Like, Raiden's back two, as I've said so many times before, is highly punishable on block. But Fasol had no meter, and Sumerian had a lot of health. So even if he got punished on that, but he went for the shocker anyway, like, he wasn't going to die from that. That was a read that was all in his favor. Even if he got blocked, he still had loads of health to make it with. So you'll see Foxy Grandpa will be coming up against Sumerian in your grand finals. Will Foxy Grandpa manage to make a hat trick out of this? See, that's a funny pun because he plays Kung Lao. I thought really hard about that.
I've been thinking about this all night.
I was hoping he'd make grand finals so I could use that. Like, I was saving it up.
That was a good joke. Perfectly executed.
You're welcome, viewers. You're welcome.
They hate you right now, I'm sure.
All right, moving on. We have Foxy Grandpa versus Sumerian. So we have, again, another UK versus Greece grand final set.
I mean, we've seen this in week 1. Nivek versus Foxy. Foxy did take that one. Foxy took it to 3-1, the grand finals were. Very good set there. I mean, it was strong. It wasn't a dominant 3-1. It was just Nivek won the game, the first game very convincingly, but then Foxy just pulled it back in the next 3 games and just won them, you know, fair and square. It was all good. Great set, but here we are now with Nivek's training partner Sumerian. in the grand finals using the same character against the guy that eliminated Nevek twice before. So this should be a good chance to get revenge, I think. A good chance.
Hey, Sumerian, he's taken out some good players to get to this point. You know, he managed to take out Omega K, who was the player that knocked Nevek out of this tournament. He took down Taco with a very powerful Sub-Zero player. I mean, he was match point, 2 games down in that set, but he made the adjustment, made a full comeback. And
that was a fantastic set. Sumerian's worked so hard.
We just saw him take down Fasol, who was a powerful Kung Lao player that is consistently playing well. You now have your final chance of the night to make your predictions. Who do you think will win this grand final set? Will it be Foxy Grandpa with his hat-trick, or will it be Sumerian with the upset of the week to make sure that Foxy Grandpa does not get that 3rd win in a row?
I would really hope that someone, you know, takes this guy on. I mean, as I've mentioned, like, you know, Foxy has been a very dominant player so far. He has been a dominant player in the Mortal Kombat Cups in the UK. He's been a dominant player in the ESL Online League here right now. He's been very dominant. We will actually be seeing Foxy this weekend at the London MCM Expo. There is a 5k pop bonus invitational where 16 players will be there. Mustard and myself will be commentating as usual. If you guys want to see more of Foxy and the other UK players, then you can tune in on the NetherRealm Twitch on Saturday. Of which you can see those guys play out for that 5k pop bonus. We'll be commentating as always, which is really exciting. It's always nice to go back to London. We haven't been there for quite a while.
Well, that's the thing, when you live in Poland to do this sort of thing, you kind of don't go to the UK too often, I suppose.
Can't really do it, can you? I mean, we're doing this.
But we will be there on Saturday, where you can watch 16 of the top players from the UK taking part in that invitational, where they'll be playing for that £5,000 pop bonus. But today we are looking at the ESL Grand Finals. Will it be Foxy Grandpa or Sumerian? Best of luck to everyone making your final predictions. I do hope you win those t-shirts, because they are fantastically good swag.
I mean, we are seeing a common theme of hat tier.
I think hat tier has made its return.
A lot of characters in this game that seem very solid have hats, and they all do really well.
Fascinating observation.
It's interesting, right? Because the thing is, Kung Lao can put 3 hats on the screen at once. It's quite interesting because Tempest,
the more hats you have, the more powerful you are as a character.
That's why Buzzsaw's so strong, because he has triple the strength as everyone else, because he can have 3 hats on screen at the same time.
Well, regardless, it'll be Kung Lao or Raiden. I will be very surprised if we see something else.
They're gonna stick with their mains. They'll stick with their mains, especially if in grand finals. It's not really a great thing to not stick with your mains. I mean, the reality is they've both got this far with Raiden and Kung Lao. So
again,
why would they change?
Going back to character loyalty is giving players a lot of potential in these leagues.
Character loyalty has been far superior over counter picks.
But that's what you want to see, really, in terms of just competitive play. I mean, I find it more exciting to see specialists. It's easier to get behind players when they don't counter pick. But that's just my opinion.
Well, again, as we've mentioned before, sorry to be repeating myself here, but you know, something that I'd really like to point out is the variation system in the game, which does its benefit character loyalists. Is exactly what I thought would happen. In all honesty, like I really thought that the variation system in this game, it would be the biggest deal. It would be such a big deal because now you can play a single character, but then you have 3 different ways to play them. And if it's not working in one variation, you can try another. You know, you don't have to constantly change characters if things aren't working out. So in all of these tournaments, from launch up until this point, so many of these players that have won these tournaments and done so well around the world have settled on that character and stuck with them. If it's not working out, it's much more likely that they'll change variation rather than changing character. And that's exactly what I was hoping for with this game. And you know, it's delivering at the moment. You know, you don't need multiple characters at the moment if you have solid variations that change the way this character is played.
Well, as I've said before, if you guys at home, or guys or girls at home, would like to take part in these weekly online leagues, we are only at week 3. There are plenty of these left to go. Do visit esl.gg/MKX Pro League to find out how you can get involved in these weekly, free-to-enter, open-to-anyone tournaments, where there is a weekly pot bonus of $1,000 and also chance to go to Burbank, California on July 11th, where you can play for a £50,000 minimum top 16 finals.
Just to remind you guys, I mean, this top 16, only 5 European players will be sent, but that's huge. That is huge as a European player, because normally, if a European player was going to be at a tournament in America, it would normally be 1, maybe 2. It would always be a very small amount of European players. But now, because of this league, because of the top 5 places, you know, 5 Europeans getting sent to an American tournament is huge. And it's huge for Europe, to really hope these guys can really make their mark and show that they have what it takes to compete too.
It's like Foxy Grandpa and Sumerian are getting ready to go into the set. This will be the last set of the Europe Top 16 for the night. So best of luck to everyone with your predictions. Best of luck to the players. I expect an absolute bloodbath.
Right, is Sumerian going to get revenge? They're loading in right now. I'm very excited. I want Greece to get revenge. It's about time. And here we go. We have Greece versus UK. Foxy Grandpa from the UK versus Smerian from Greece. You've seen this match before, but this was when Nivek was using it. These guys do play differently to one another. And what's going to happen here? So Foxy knows the down 4 punish to at least get that massive hit advantage, but Smerian not biting, not pressing buttons, he knows. Oh, really nice meter burn spin. We see so much of that. It's just so strong. Here comes Foxy getting in. I'm not sure how often these guys have played before, but a lovely meter burn choke there just to really absorb that. Oh, wow. Lovely uppercut. He knows that's not a true box string. Smerian being much more explosive here. Foxy Grandpa having no meter at the moment. He has no meter burn spin. Smerian just building so much meter just from those 2 block strings alone. Oh, he was waiting for meter burn there. Both players waiting for someone to spend a bar. Doesn't quite get it. He tries to jail. That will take round 1. Smerian takes round 1. It's like Foxy got the down 4 again. Tries to go for the flop, but no sprint left, so he didn't have the stamina. Oh, lovely anti-air. Once again, you just can't jump in on Kung Lao when he's got bar available. You can see Foxy being very careful there. He's waiting for the meter burn grab. But if Smerian realizes that's what he's doing, he now gets a bit more button presses. Yeah, Foxy with that jailing jumping again to really give that. I mean, good blocks from Smerian on the strings. He clearly knows this matchup. Good stuff here from both players. Again, with that meter burn anti-air, you just can't jump in against this character when he's got bar. It's just impossible. He will chew through it, but both players doing really well now. Smerian on a significant meter advantage here. Does he get the full life lead? Foxy doesn't really confirm it into much more damage. I mean, 20%, that's not too much to get on a full jump in, but he manages to really chip this together, catches the overhead. Catches the Superman as well. Face first into a sharp hat, that can't be very nice. Breaks right at the end of the combo. Does block. I mean, that's all 3 bars of Smerian's got now. Oh, lovely jump kick into Superman, though. This is a very good position for him. Again, just so many anti-air spins, and this now will be a low hat into some kind of meaty setup, and that will take game 1. No, and that was all through anti-air meaty burn spins. That was completely and utterly shutting down the neutral jumps and the jump-ins that have been getting Smerian so much mileage in the sets beforehand. He's done really well. I mean, he did a really solid first round, but the issue there, I think, just the jumping, really. The second Kung Lao had bar. I mean, it's so tempting to jump in at Kung Lao because he plays such a strong ground game. You're so tempted to go, I'm going to jump in right as he does a string. But the second you jump, that's when you eat a meter burn spin into a full combo, into a hard knockdown, into some kind of crazy meaty setup afterwards that Kung Lao can always do. But I'm certain Smerian acknowledges that, and I'm certain he knows. So this should be a rest of the set should be quite interesting. I mean, we see a lot of situations here where both players are blocking. They'll do a string and both of them will block. That's because they're both waiting for armor to come. Well, so it's a complete mind game. They both got it. I mean, Raiden has the armored shocker for massive damage potential, but Kung Lao's got the spin, like we've said so many times before, and we will continue to say as long as Kung Lao keeps making a massive splash in these tournaments. Going into game 2, we'll see if Smerian can really make this adjustment to really tone down on the jumps. He does go for it there, but I think that may have been because he saw Foxy had already left the ground. Oh, here comes Foxy. When Kung Lao gets that first hit, it is so important. I mean, that first hit is massive with Kung Lao because that's an extra meter burn spin. And as long as he's got meter for that spin, you can't jump. It's risky pressing buttons. Like in situations just like that, like it's risky pressing buttons. And the meter burn spin will take it, but no hat to go into the low hat. Oh, the meter burn spin to counter poke. That's what we see so many times. Oh, he tries to wake up. I mean, he's out of the corner at least, but that again, that will be a full anti-air. It's just anti-air central right now. I mean, Foxy just not really letting him get away with anything. The only time you can do it is if Kung Lao has no meter, but that's unlikely with the amount you will be locking him. But a good neutral jump punch to really blow up the teleport. Smerian with that really tidy execution. He's not going out without a fight. Here we go. He's got him in the corner. This is where Raiden wants him to be. Yes, Kung Lao has no meter. Does drop it, but the meter burn, like he gets the meter build, sorry. Just this variation of Raiden, just he always has bars. Here comes the restand, blocks the overhead, but I like the committing into the single hit rather than committing to the unsafe stuff. That jump could have been it, but Foxy decides to save on the meter. He breaks, he knows if he's in the corner, lovely escape from the corner, but here comes Kung Lao pushing him into the other side of the corner, acknowledging that he's plus on that. Lovely down 1 to try and challenge, but he's going to meter burn spin next time. That's the scary thing. If you sit here waiting for meter burn spin, all Kung Lao's going to do is build meter. In about 10 seconds, he's built 2 bars of meter just through chip damage alone. Foxy opting not to break. Thinks he's still got this round, or he's saving it for round 3. Oh, that crucial low profile! He tags him. Oh, the neutral jump! Smerian needs to really keep himself together right now. Lovely air to air. This will be a full combo, hard knockdown. He's going to meter burn hat. Here comes some crazy setup. Oh, the clutch down
That
four.
was really smart. He knew the down four would go under the hat. He knew if Foxy followed with it, it was going to get tagged by it, and that was all the hit damage he needed was the couple of % you get from the down four, but
Here's
the
the
V-Bar
anti-air
spin.
once again. And the next piece of chip damage will build Foxy a bar. So here comes another meter burn spin. I mean, the question is, when is it coming? And now we get the grabs as well. Any time, Foxy will throw out one of those grabs. So just keep you in check. Here comes the jailing once again, keeping him in the corner, doing a solid 11%. Jailing once again. I mean, that's a complete crazy mix-up. Jailing from the jump-in. It's looking all Foxy right now.
This is just a really hard situation to get out of. Like once that jump in starts, because as soon as you start respecting the grab, the 3 hats.
Oh, what was that?
Aye.
Foxy, you crazy man.
It's just as soon as you start respecting the counter poke, that's when you just eat block damage all day, non-stop until you're dead.
I mean, let's not deny that was a really good combo at the end.
That was quite an interesting finish.
It's one thing that Foxy always does is he has this really strange setup where there'll be a hat across the floor, there'll be a hat across the screen, and then there'll be one on his head. I find it really funny how, like, in other variations of Kung Lao, if the hat's in play, if it's on the ground, if it's circling around him and whatever, he can't use it because it's on the field.
Enter Buzzsaw.
Enter
There's like a
Buzzsaw,
million
and
hats on
there can
screen.
be like a bajillion hats on screen, and there'll still be one on his head that he can throw as a low hat. It's just really funny fighting against Kung Lao, and it's just hats everywhere.
So they're not really wasting any time. Sumerian's
They
going
will be going
straight
straight
back
to
into this
rematch.
with Thunder God Raiden. I mean, he can still do it. He's getting rounds. He's getting good damage in these. He just needs to watch the jumps because the jumps are consistently making him eat so much damage. And it's adding up. That's the problem. Because Kung Lao is building so much meter against him because he's forcing these blocks because he knows the respect of the meter burn spin is there. But that's giving him bar, which is giving him these flawless anti-airs.
Here comes again that first hit bonus. It's crucial for Kung Lao to get that first hit bonus. Again, he's backed him into the corner. A really nice read on that Superman. I mean, that's one thing Foxy will do is he'll kind of just throw a low hat or something in this situation and just step back. I mean, really dominant round right now, but
He's riding the momentum. He knows he has matches to lose right now. And the hat, it changes direction. So hard to deal with.
he jumped on the hat. But here comes Sumerian. This is a crucial mix-up.
If he makes this comeback against Foxy now, then that will be one for the highlight reel.
Unfortunately, though, Foxy does guess right in the mix-up. Doesn't quite get the meter burn spin, but this will be a cool convert. Tournament point for the third week in a row for Foxy Grandpa from the UK.
Does get caught pressing buttons in between, possibly trying to armor with the meter burn spin. That's something we seem to do quite a lot, but Sumerian really with the good confirms, but Foxy with the obvious break. He's going to do that just to keep that momentum going and uses the throw to really give his sprint time to come back.
Sumerian sitting on 3 bars. I mean, Foxy has no bar here. That's full combo punishable, unfortunately, but because the low hat is always a threat, a lot of the time, although it's unsafe, he can still confirm it into a low hat. Oh, full combo. Gets the confirm. Now this is all Sumerian needs. Unfortunately, corners himself. Unfortunately, he does put himself in the corner. That's not what you want to do in this situation.
No standing confirm from Foxy, but he's got the bar. Sumerian cannot jump in at this point. That will cost him basically everything.
Oh, he tries to meter burn spin to beat that neutral jump, but doesn't quite get it. And that's what he was looking for.
Sumerian's going to the neutral jump punch. One just all too often. It's
Gets a
costing him a lot of
good.
damage, but
Oh,
he
I
drops
probably
it.
thought he was closer to the corner. That combo would have won the round. This should take it. And Sumerian does live to fight another day here. And he
He is
has
looking-
Kung Lao in the corner.
He made this comeback against Taco. Will he be able to do it against Foxy Grandpa?
Sumerian earlier on, ladies and gentlemen, for those that are just tuning in, did make a full 3-game comeback when he was down on 2 games. He has what it takes to win. Here comes a restand, and the meter burn spin just to challenge any attempt at a mix-up afterwards.
We're now looking at a no meter Kung Lao. We're
here
still
comes
tournament
this.
point for Foxy.
Crazy stuff. That should have been a full combo punish, but unfortunately went unpunished. Low
Walks into a
hats.
low hat.
So many hats. Lovely armor there. This will be a full combo into the carry. Here he is, Kung Lao now in the corner. But unfortunately, the threat of the meter burn spin so prominent.
Orby does catch him pressing buttons. Will Sumerian be able to make the comeback?
He knows he's going to try and spin, but then does it much earlier. This will be a full combo, and that will be the game. No, he doesn't get it. He does get it. Oh my days.
Sumerian.
So close.
Sumerian making a statement right now. He wants to win this set. He knows he can do it.
I love that smart stuff right at the end of acknowledging that when he went for a 50-50 last time, which is a slightly slower startup than the regular mid-string that Raiden has, he ate a meter burn spin because although he's in hit stun there, and he can go for a 50-50.
Not everything is guaranteed.
Not everything is guaranteed, so the overhead may not necessarily be guaranteed after getting hit by the lightning bolt. Foxy armoring through that. Sumerian remembered that. He remembered that that was what Foxy tried to do as an option. So basically, in that situation, he knew next time that Foxy was going to try and armor through.
Especially if it was the whole momentum change of interrupting a good block string or comeback with armor.
But
he knew it.
He knew it, so he went for the much faster string, knowing that Foxy was pressing buttons. But when you are in that much hit stun, even if you're trying to armor through, the reality is you're not blocking and you're trying to press a button. The game will not give you the armor because you're getting hit by an attack already. So when he throws out the fast-hitting mid-string, it chews straight through it. And that was really good stuff from Samarian, really smart. And he is here now, 2-1. If he wins one more game, he's tightened it up, and it will be 2-2. The next game will decide who walks away with those points and a first place, and who walks away with second place.
So let's see who'll be able to get the first hit here. Looks like Samarian's really, he needs to bring this one back. I mean, he did get the first hit, and he's got a throw on the table. How aggressive will he get? Ooh, and a good confirming.
Here comes the corner carry. Foxy Grandpa not having any
Must
meter.
have been an input error from Samarian right there. Unfortunate, but it did cost him his breaker, but he is still in with like all of his health. Does catch the projectile.
Oh, that's going to be a full combo punish. Not necessarily punished fully there, though. Here comes Low Hat. Crazy pressure from that. That's going to be a full whip punish as well. Foxy getting tagged, whiffing a lot of normals. Here comes the meter burn spin, though, just to challenge any sort of advance.
Samarian's still looking at like basically twice the health Foxy has right now. Does miss the neutral jump punch. He's getting tagged by those overheads. I mean, if you get attacked by one of them, it's not too bad. Does get the meter build, just all that bar he's building. Absolutely insane stuff. Really good play from Samarian.
Samarian being very careful, not really putting himself in harm's way. Nice read there on the armor. It is actually safe on block, so lovely neutral jump. That will take the round if he gets it.
No, not quite, not quite.
Here comes Foxy. He's not out yet. Foxy has no meter, but one combo will take this.
That chip damage is not quite enough.
Oh, he's going to whiff everything here. This next hit is so important. And he gets the meter burn Superman, or regular Superman.
I'm kind of running out of words to say in situations like that because there has been so many Samarian comebacks. There's only so many ways I can say he is making a comeback, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. He has Kung Lao in the corner. Here comes that setup.
Grandmaster Raiden is coming in back into play.
This will be, unfortunately, doesn't quite get the restand. He gets the restand. This will be a full combo. Samarian doing so well right now. Tags the meter burn spin. Breaks. Oh, lovely anti-air, though. He's probably going to throw him in the corner, I imagine. No, he's going to keep him there. Hard knockdown.
I think he knows that Samarian is making the most of this corner, and that's where he's getting a lot of these situations. He does catch the whip punish.
He dedicates into the jump in, into that jail. He has meter, though. Is he going to counter poke with meter? That is the question. That's going to be a full jump in. Foxy's still in this.
So ball beyond Foxy make all
oh,
the
meter burn Superman. Just a 2-3 through that. Next hit will be crucial.
Just like that, the round goes to Foxy. Samarian goes from so close to make tightening up to tournament point once again for Foxy Grandpa, but Foxy has no meter. This meter burn spin is not a threat for a little while. He just catches the tag.
He still has no meter, so Samarian can still go pretty ham here. This will be a full combo. He can't break because he has one bar. Unfortunately, that
heartbreaking drop from Samarian, but he catches the shocker to put him straight back into the corner again.
Oh, unpunished the overhead. And no doubt he was probably expecting a low hat in that situation. Here comes Kung Lao. There's low hat pressure.
Not quite enough to confirm.
Quite often when Foxy's trying to go for that jail, he just gets tagged by the jump in anyway. Samarian needs to hold this together. He's not taking loads of damage. He still has a life lead after all these hits.
There's the whip punish, but he does break away. Catches him again. Samarian's got him all the way in the corner now. No meter burn to spin.
This next hit will take the round. Samarian sitting on so much meter. That lovely neutral jump. That play was huge.
Wow.
And he tightens this up. 2-2.
Samarian is bringing this back. Does he just like enter God mode when he is down 2 games in a round? Is that the key to making Samarian play like an absolute beast?
Does he become the Greek comeback god?
The comeback king?
The comeback king. I mean, we've seen already in this tournament he has been down 2 games. Match point against him, and he's made a 3 straight comeback. He is in the process of making a 3 straight comeback against Foxy, and this is the closest grand finals we've ever had so far. And Samarian is bringing this. He's bringing this to Foxy.
It was in the process of being a 3-game wipe. It was going to be a straight set of 3 in a row from Foxy, but Samarian, he is not letting that happen. He has said, I am not losing that way. You beat Nivek last time. You will not beat me. You beat Mitsuones, you will not beat me. And here he is in grand finals, making a 2-game comeback against Foxy Grandpa, bringing himself 1 game away from 100 placement points and $500.
If Samarian makes this comeback, I can't even express how hype it will be because, you know, Foxy's been such a dominant player. He is the player to beat in Europe right now. He is the one to beat. And here's Samarian bringing it 2-all in the process of making this crazy comeback.
What a whip
Here we go once again. Samarian just entering this crazy god mode. The second he's down in games.
He's so good with the whip punish from that forward one. Like, it's such a fast string, but he knows how to convert from it. And on block, he's building a ton of meter. That neutral jump, he's going to have to watch because Foxy's sitting on so much meter. No,
he has no hat. He has no hat, so he can't meter burn spin. This will be a full combo convert. Doesn't quite get the convert. These tournament nerves may potentially be getting to Foxy.
And we're seeing all these, what should be, oh no, he misses the meter burn spin and it costs him 2 bars of meter for a breaker. Doesn't have it for the anti-air, does trade with it. Will he get whip punish? No, not quite enough, but Samarian is building so much bar non-stop.
That lovely jump kick. That will be a full convert. He has to break. He has to break that situation. Really nice break.
Doesn't get the convert. Oh, wake up throw! Knew he was waiting for a button press. Oh, charges it as well.
This is such good play from Cimmerian right now. Foxy dropping a lot of these combos. Good grab. He's going to throw him into the corner, no doubt. Or keep him mid-screen, actually. I think he realizes the corner is dangerous.
Cimmerian's going to be so safe here.
Oh, he whiffs the teleport!
That was quite enough. No, that jump, Cimmerian. No, he did it.
History is repeating itself.
Unfortunately, cost him the round. And once again, tournament point for Foxy Grandpa.
And the meter burn jail, that's where he's going. He's going for the jump in jail so often. And he's getting it that time. Here comes the jump. And he's not going to convert it because he wasn't ready for it to hit. Cimmerian's still in this. He has what it takes to make this comeback. Cimmerian is not out yet. Oh, lovely wake-up armor just to go straight through whatever Foxy was going to try and do. And here, where the execution matters, Cimmerian is going in.
Will he be able to make this comeback? He has so the odds are against him with the health bars, but he is in the process of doing it.
And he teleports into the meter burn thunderbolt.
Oh, he drops the combo again. Oh no, unfortunately, he does have the meter burn spin as well. He is looking at a really hard situation here.
This will take it. He gets the grab.
Just like
Foxy
that.
is your third winner in a row. But what a set!
That was the best grand finals we have had so far in the European League.
Good stuff to Cimmerian. So amazing. I mean, he brought it. He brought that. I mean, so often in this tournament, we saw Cimmerian be so down on games. Even before now, he was match point down 3-0, or sorry, 2-0, and then he makes a 3-0 comeback. He was in the process of making a 3-0 comeback versus Foxy, and we just got an amazing set. We hope you guys at home enjoyed that. Cimmerian here to play. The Greek scene is so strong in Europe.
But obviously,
so far, though.
Without saying, massive, massive congratulations to a Foxy Grandpa for making his third victory in the weekly online season from ESL, where he has secured himself another $500 as well as 100 more league points, putting him at least 150 points ahead of the competition right now. But again, massive congratulations to Cimmerian for making that amazing set happen in Grand Finals, where he has also secured himself 75 placement points and $300.
I mean, that's very important. I mean, so far, really, in this European League, you know, it's pretty much all UK and Greece right now. I mean, it very much is all UK and Greece.
We had Mitsuones last week.
We did indeed.
Undeniable, but he did manage to take out, you know, Mr. Aquari and a few other sort of key players. But in terms of consistent placings, we're seeing a lot of UK and Greece.
I mean, in the form of Nevek, Cimmerian, you know, Foxy. I mean, these players are doing incredibly well right now.
Shuffles as well.
Shuffles doing really well.
Player from the UK.
It's really good stuff. It's really good stuff, and I'm so glad that we got a really good grand finals there. But this is just the third of many to come. If you guys enjoyed this and you really want to get involved yourself, go to esl.gg/MKX Pro League. These are free to enter weekly tournaments where there is a prize pool of $1,000 each week and those placement points to get you sent to the Burbank Finals in California. If you guys want to follow on social media for more information on all of this league, the current state of the league and the future tournaments that are going to be taking place, follow ESL Mortal Kombat and NetherRealm on Twitter, on top of ESL TV and MK Community Manager on YouTube.
So just like that, it looks like we are once again at an end from the European Top 16. So from Ketchup and myself, we want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. If you are buying the blue steel skin, thank you for contributing to the competitive scene. Thank you to NetherRealm, ESL and Xbox for this experience. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Do stay tuned for the North American Top 16 in just a few hours. Make sure you're tuning in again next week for the CIS, Europe and North American Top 16. But from us, I have been Mustard.
I'm Ketchup.
And we will see you next time.
See you later, guys. Take care.